And welcome back to Kiev, everyone here. We are going to have an interview in just a moment. Obviously, the game of the day, the semifinals, the first semifinals are going to be SK Gaming versus Moscow 5. But before we go into the interview, I want to talk a little bit about what we saw so far, what the group stages have been like, and what the bracket looks like now. And let's just start with that right away. So we can see here the bracket for Group A. It was, some would say it was a rather one-sided group. There were two teams that were not quite as strong as the others. Curse had some problems with their substitutes and still managed to win one game. White Lotus possibly not quite on the same level, but we still saw a very interesting game of TSM versus SK Gaming that was very much decided in the pick phase. So there is a possibility that TSM versus SK Gaming could still be the finals, and we'll have to see if SK have learned to play the pick and ban game until then. And if we go on to Group B, we can see that we had a much more interesting day yesterday. Moscow 5 came into this tournament as the overhyped #1 team, the team that's going to take it all. And people were a little bit afraid that maybe the hype wasn't really deserved. Maybe that, you know, we were overhyping them. Maybe they weren't quite that good in an offline event. But we needn't have worried because they took the group in a very, very convincing fashion, not dropping a single map. The fight for place 2 was a little bit closer with Dignitas and AAA, and it could have gone either way in the last game, but Against All Authority failed to win against Moscow 5, and Dignitas of course took the game against Cypher rather convincingly, giving us the two teams that move on to the semifinals, Moscow 5 and Team Dignitas. That was the group stages, and that gives us the following bracket right now. We will have Moscow 5 versus SK Gaming, the European semifinals, first up today. This is going to decide which European team is going to be in the finals, because we are going to have a Europe versus America final no matter what. And it's going to be rather close. This game is going to be very interesting. SK Gaming defeated the team that defeated Moscow 5 in the last Go for LOL, if you want to talk about it like that. But of course that may not have to mean anything. And the second semi-final of the day is going to be Dignitas versus Team Solomid, the American game. These two teams know each other really well. It's going to be a very, very close grudge match. And I think no matter how the semis come out, we are going to have a super exciting finals tomorrow. And with that, we can go back to the interview right now. I have with me here Nif, the support player for SK Gaming, and Diamond Prox, the jungler for Moscow 5. So I'm going to start with you, Nif. Yesterday, I was talking, I think, to Ocelot, and he said, you know what, we want to meet Moscow 5 in the semifinals. We have special preparations for them. So I'm going to assume you don't want to tell me anything about the special preparations, but can you just tell me, how ready do you feel to take on these guys?
I feel we are really ready for them. We talked a lot yesterday after we know that they went out first. And we also played against them, and we prepared really good for them.
So you think you can take them?
Yes, obviously.
Ну что, первый вопрос игроку команды SK Gaming Нифу. Вчера Селот сказал в интервью, что он очень хочет сыграть с Moscow 5, потому что у SK Gaming есть какие-то специальные заготовочки под Moscow 5. Понятное дело, что Ниф ничего про это не сказал, но он соглашается с капитаном своей команды. Он говорит, что да, мы хотим сыграть с Moscow 5, и мы, в принципе, уверены в том, что наши заготовочки сработают, мы у них выиграем.
Okay, and a question to Diamond Prox then. Yesterday I asked Alex Ish, your AP player, exactly how it was possible that Moscow 5 rose so quickly to fame, because you were founded only 1 week before the second IEM qualifier. That's insane to think about it. And his answer was, how did we rise so quickly? Well, we have a jungler that's just crazy good. So can you tell me what it is that you do differently from other junglers?
Ну, собственно, вчера Алексеевич сказал на вопрос о том, как это так получилось, что команда, которая собралась за неделю до квалификации собственно, на IEM, настолько быстро, настолько классно начала играть, настолько вошла в игру. Алексеевич ответил, что у нас просто нереальный джанглер, и с ним очень просто играть. И что ты думаешь про свой скилл на этом турнире и про других джанглеров тоже?
Ну, я думаю, что меня заинвайтили в команду. Мы, собственно, тренировались около недели до самого ИЕМа. Саппорта мы тоже нашли хорошего, конечно. Мой скилл я оцениваю хорошо, но мой плейстайл больше относится к контр-джанглу, то есть если моя команда поддерживает меня во всех моих начинаниях, если она ходит со мной, помогает мне инвейдить вражеский джангл, что-то там забирать, то я играю хорошо. Если они этого не будут делать, у меня будут большие проблемы.
First of all, I came to team like 1 week before their qualifier to Intel Extreme Masters. And I want to tell you that I'm not really good jungler. I'm really good counter jungler. And if my team won't help me with counter jungling, I will have a lot of problems in the game. And we have really good support, Gus Pepper. That's why jungling for me is really easy.
That's a very nice question. I like that, stressing the fact that he needs the help of the team. And so I'm going to go back to you right now, Nif. Sleazy Weezy is probably one of the players with the longest experience in offline events. I mean, he was in Los Angeles in 2010, back then already with SK Gaming, many team changes ago. So he's definitely a player who knows how to play in offline events, but some people have been saying on the forums that maybe he's not aggressive enough, maybe he doesn't gank often enough, or maybe he doesn't counter jungle often enough. Do you think that maybe there is something more that the team can do to enable him to counter jungle or gank, or do you think that it's okay for him to just stay in the jungle and farm up?
Actually, we're working on that, and we try to take the other buff and invade the jungle and stuff, so I think we improved a lot in that. At the beginning he was a bit passive, but he improved, so I think we are almost as crazy as the Russians with the jungle invasion, but yeah, we are a bit more passive, but it's good.
Ну что, прозвучал вопрос про игрока Sleazy Weezy, который играет джанглера у команды SK Gaming. Бытует мнение, что его игра является одной из самых, так сказать, недосконалых в составе СК, что он слишком пассивен и так далее, что команда ему не помогает. И вот это один из главных минусов SK Gaming, на что Ниф отвечает, что да, есть такое мнение, но как бы это очень опытный игрок, и в последнее время мы очень сильно над этим работаем, мы знаем об этой ошибке, и мы как бы ему пытаемся максимально помогать, и он надеется, что вот именно с помощью команды Sleazy Weezy станет таким же бешеным джанглером, как русские, и все будет у него хорошо.
So Diamond Brox, is there one player on Team SK Gaming that you guys are most afraid of? Is there one person where you would say messing with his laning phase is the most important thing for us, or is it just generally the entire team that you need to take down?
Ну, в первую очередь, если хоть один игрок из SK Gaming, кого вы в частности боитесь, ну даже не боитесь, а переживаете, что с ним будет тяжелее всего, или в первую очередь вы вот боитесь команду SK Gaming как команду?
В первую очередь мы, конечно же, опасаемся игрока Ацелота из команды SK Gaming, потому что он очень хорошо играет на своих основных героях. Это Кассиопея, Моргана, Касадин, ну и АП Жанна. И он может доставить нам очень большие проблемы, если сыграет так же, как хорошо, как и всегда.
We don't afraid SK Gaming as a team. We are afraid Ocelot as solo mid laner with Cassidy, with Cassiopeia, with Morgana. And if he will play at his hero on his best game, we will have a big problems in this game.
Okay, that's pretty much what we expected. So a question about the bottom lane then to you, Nif. For a very long time, the Nif Candy bottom lane has been considered possibly one of the strongest in the game. Now, some people have been saying that yesterday your bottom lanes were somewhat underwhelming. The Janna Vayne lane that just didn't come together at all. Do you feel that there's currently a problem in the communication between you and Candy, or are you maybe not practiced enough, or do you think it was just the games going against you with Zion roaming all the time? Was that the only problem?
I think it was a game problem. We had no sustain with Janna, so we dropped low, and then they just ganked us without vision. That was really bad, and they just snowballed from that point. So we were just 20 CS behind, and Vayne is, I think she's stronger in late game. Even she has a bit less CS. And so they just snowballed so hard in that game. Maybe with a sustain hero like Tarek, we could have been better, but yeah, we picked Janna, so our bad.
So just a quick follow-up question to that. What exactly are you going to do differently this time around? Just not pick Janna, or is there more to it?
Yeah, probably we won't pick Janna, but you will see in some minutes, so I don't want to talk too much about that.
Ну что, очередной вопрос команде SK Gaming прозвучал по поводу ихнего ботtom-лейна. Раньше считалось, что все-таки Candy Panda и Nif это один из самых лучших дабл-лейнов вообще в мире. И вот вчера, то есть точнее позавчера в матчах своих против ТСМ не все хорошо получалось. Там линия с Дженой и Вейной, вы помните, очень хорошо. ТСМ очень сильно проиграла. На что Nif отвечает, что да, там в принципе мы проиграли очень сильно пики. ТСМ нас давили просто с первой минуты. Было тяжело что-либо сыграть. И в сегодняшней игре, скорее всего, чтобы от этой ошибки отойти, мы, скорее всего, просто не будем пикать Джену и попробуем сыграть намного лучше, чем это у нас получилось против ТСМ.
Okay, and a question to Diamond Prox then. This is the first best of 3 for you guys in this tournament. So yesterday it was all best of 1, so you had to be more or less safe and make sure that you actually win those best of 1s because every single one mattered. But today you have a best of 3. Does that factor into your decision making at all? Do you think like, okay, this is the first game, we can go completely crazy, even if we lose, we still have a chance to win? So basically what I'm asking, are we going to see even more craziness and aggressiveness from you guys today?
Ну, вопрос довольно интересный тебе. Вчера вы играли все игры Best of One, сейчас вы будете играть Best of 3. Отразится ли это на вашей игре? То есть, что он имеет в виду, что стоит ли от вас ожидать какой-то бешеной там игры, опять каких-то супер бешеных пиков в первой игре, учитывая, что вы будете знать, что у вас еще 2 игры, вы сможете отыграть, или вы будете играть так же, как вы играли вчера, на расслабоне, просто убивать врага?
Безусловно, Best of 3 нам больше по душе, поскольку там можно всегда совершить ошибку и надеяться на камбэк. Но мы постараемся играть, как всегда, осторожно, применять свои самые разработанные стратегии, в которых мы ошибиться практически не можем. И постараемся показать лучшее, что мы можем.
Best of 3 is our favorite system because you know you have a chance to make one error, you have a chance to lose one game. But we are really prepared for this. We have 2 different strategies for every 2 games in this best of 3, and I think everything will go really well for us.
Okay, so last question for you then, Nif. SK Gaming have played at a lot of offline events. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think SK Gaming have ever won an offline event. You have a lot of silver medals and not a gold medal. How do you feel about the current mood in the team, about the amount of practice and everything you have? Is Kiev going to be the first gold medal for SK Gaming?
Actually, they won already a gold medal in the EPS. That was also an offline event final, but just to be correct. But yeah, actually we want to win a tournament, so we want to be first and we try our best. And I don't think we are demotivated or something. This team atmosphere is good and cannot be better. And also, I think the pressure is on the Moscow 5. We have so much experience. We were in every IEM offline event so far.
I think you were the only team to be at every.
Yeah, only CLG was also in almost all but one. So yeah, we have good experience also playing on the main stage and stuff. So I think we win this shit.
Good luck.
Ну что, вопрос прозвучал из SK Gaming довольно такой с заковырочкой, что вы, ребята, играли на очень многих офлайн турнирах, на очень многих ланах. У вас нереальное количество серебряных медалей, но нету золота, ничего вы не выигрывали. Станет ли Киев вашим первым золотом? На что Ниф отвечает, что вы ошибаетесь, мы один какой-то турнирчик выиграли, EPS Швеция или что, если я не ошибаюсь. Ну что-то они выиграли, но все равно, конечно, мало. Но и они рассчитывают на этом турнире показать максимальный свой результат, потому что они очень хорошо себя чувствуют, когда они играют под прессингом. И вот сейчас против Moscow 5, когда как раз будет такая игра, когда они не считаются фаворитами, и Ниф уверен в том, что именно в такой ситуации получится у них собраться и заработать золотую медаль здесь, в Киеве.
And a last question for Moscow 5 as well. So this is your first offline event and obviously nerves play into it. Yesterday you were playing back there in the gaming area. You're kind of locked off. There weren't that many people standing behind you. Today you're going to be up there on the big stage. Do you think nerves are going to factor in at all? Do you think that the team is nervous or are you just ready and hungry for a win?
Вы вчера играли в зале, там стоял стенд, и получалось так, что за вами там не могло наблюдать очень много народу за спиной, мешать шумом и так далее. Сегодня вы играете на сцене, очень много народу в интернете, нереальное количество, сотни тысяч, и здесь в зале будет за вас болеть, будет поддерживать. Скажется ли это как-то на вашей игре, нервная ли команда, ну и мешает ли вам то, что вы играете на сцене?
На сцене мы уже тренировались с того момента, как мы приехали в Киев, киберарену. То есть нам ничто не может помешать. Мы абсолютно готовы к этой игре на сцене. Единственная проблема — это со звуком, поскольку придется надеть наушники, те самые. И это единственное, что может нас остановить. Но я не считаю это большой проблемой, мы готовы ко всему.
We came to Cyber Arena 3 days before the tournament, and we were practicing at the stage all day long. So we are prepared for these PCs. We are prepared to play on stage. And the only problem that can stop us is not SK, it's the sound, because it's really hard to play when you can't hear each other. You need to use mumble, and it will be the main problem for Moscow 5 in this game.
So you heard it here first, SK Gaming cannot stop Moscow 5, but the sound can. So let's hope that the sound is going to be on our side so we have a fair and even match here. Guys, thank you very much for the interview. I wish you best of luck. I'm sure this is going to be a very, very interesting series, and I'm really looking forward to casting it. You at home, don't go anywhere. We're going to cut back to the Shoutcaster booth very, very quickly. I'm going to have to make a quick sprint over there to get there in time. And then we're going to bring you SK Gaming versus Moscow 5. See you all in a second.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Oh, just kidding. We're seeing the. There we go. There is Xenon. Welcome to the. Welcome to the stream, sir. Hopping up in there, and yes, we are, as he said, in the game. We have 9 of the players in here, and this is the first semifinal of the day of Intel Extreme Masters Global Challenge Kiev.
In my defense, somebody stopped me and asked me a question. I would have made the sprint, but somebody asked me a question.
I was expecting you. I looked at the door right there, and I'm like, okay, I know that the couch is right there, door's right there. It'll take you all of 4 seconds, and I'm like,
Nif had a question, and
Xenon.
He's so charming, that Nif. I can't I can't say no to him. You know.
That's true. I'll give you that one. He's got the spiked blonde hair. Who can say no to spiked blonde hair?
And let me just say that the EMS is not. Sorry, the EMS is not an offline.
It was at the same time as Gamescom.
It was at Gamescom, but that was irregular. Normally, it's an online league.
Well, sure, but it was an offline finals. Technically, he was correct.
All right.
The man
Technically,
he
was correct.
Yes, and that was against Solo Mid, I think.
Yes,
Solo
and
Mid
they
was
were hungover. They were really hungover. Is the
That's
the
their
rumor?
Excuse.
Is the rumor?
Yeah,
Yes,
of course.
Yes. Welcome, Freak.
Hi.
Or welcome to me. I don't know. Hello.
Both of us. Welcome, all of us.
Welcome.
And you guys at home.
Are you excited?
I am. This is going to be great. I'm looking forward to these games. I mean, they're all going to be phenomenal. All these teams, they feel so confident. I was talking to Solo Mid before the tournament. And they're like, yeah, we have a really good chance against Dignitas. Dignitas know that they have a good chance against Solo Mid. SK and Moscow 5 both are just so... they're extremely confident as well. They both, Moscow 5, of course, is generally got Solo Mid. SK is not going to beat us. I mean, the crowd might beat us, but
not
but,
SK.
Not worried about SK. And then SK are like, oh, dude, and Ocelot's eyes were like lighting up. He's like, dude, we talked so much about strategies last night. I can't wait to play. Seriously, I'm just like, I can't wait to play. It's going to be awesome.
You know what he said to me yesterday in the crowd? He was like, I heard somebody say Alex Ish is the best Solo Mid in this tournament. Okay. And he didn't say anything else. He just looked at my eyes and was like, you could read it out of his eyes, like, I'm gonna show him. So yeah, there's a lot on the line here. People really want to prove themselves. Which game is this?
What exclamation point?
Exclamation point.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and you're the last one. And congratulations, you've made it.
I have.
The spectators beat the players into the game.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan of that one.
Let's have a spectator match then. 3 versus 3.
All right, let's do it.
After players just spectate.
Okay, great. Oh, that sounds awesome.
They win if they're the better shoutcasters.
No, that's impossible. Come on.
No, let's not do that. Okay. Yep. Diamond Prox, I'm so excited to see him. Yesterday I was a little bit on the forums and people were like, what is this? I have never seen jungling like this. What is happening with the jungle? I mean, he just said on the couch, he said next to me, he said, I'm not a good jungler. I'm a good counter jungler. It's like, all right, fair enough. You're absolutely right.
But also the thing to point out is he said it, I'm a good counter jungler, especially with my team helps.
Yes.
And he's like, I got to bring them over there. And that's really one of the big highlights of League of Legends, is it is a big team game.
Yep.
That, getting your teammates to help to influence those battles is a really, really big deal. And so when he comes in to steal red, if the enemy team converges on him and blows him up, you don't steal a red buff if you get it back from killing him. So they've got to bring in Alex or Darian or one of those top laners to steal red or things like that. And it very much matters what your team does to help you out here. And we do have 5 from Moscow 5 in, which is of course very fitting. We have 4 from SK, so we're waiting for that last player, which looks like Asa actually is the last one to join.
There he is.
And then he joined in. So it looks like we have the players in the game, the spectators in the game. I'm ready to go. I'm really excited. Moscow 5 says they're ready, SK says they're ready, spectators are ready. Go from Ocelot, the first semifinal coming on. Do it up, gonna be said into the chat. Let's make it happen.
Very good. I am excited. Let's see if there's a Nunu ban right away. Actually, it's first ban, first pick on Moscow 5, isn't it? Yes, it is. So let's see if the Casio ban comes out right away. And there it is.
There it is. Just not.
And Nunu or Rice is what I'm predicting here, because the Rice is going to really shut down like a Kassadin in mid lane. Oh, actually Carthus. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, we saw him in the qualifiers playing a really good Carthus. Morgana banned, Nunu banned, Kassadin banned. All right, it's going very, very quick. These two teams know each other inside out, freak.
Yeah, but the cool thing about here, so I'm going through the instant Sona. But Soraka's here though. I think it's like almost the first time we've actually seen Soraka be available. The Instalock Sona as a strategy, a lot of these teams have been running forever. But Moscow 5 spending all their bans against Ocelot have left other supports in there.
Yep.
Yeah, the Nunu got banned, but Soraka's in there, Tarek's in there.
Ooh.
The fast Aurelia, of course, a great choice there. And there's honestly all of these lane matchups are really exciting for me because you've got the very interesting bottom lane where you see a lot of atypical bottom lanes from Moscow 5. You got they've done Kog'Maw Nunu before. They run Nunu a lot. Darian has been phenomenal this tournament, and Kevin is just lauded as this phenomenal player. Ocelot versus Alex Zeke, also a crazy matchup as well. And the one that kind of looks bad for SK possibly is this phenomenal Diamond against
and
the sort of new pickup of Sleazy.
He just picked up his Shyvana as well, so they were not scared of his Shyvana in the forest at all. They just left her open. I don't understand why they banned the Yorick, but they must know something we don't. And yet the Soraka pickup, they could wait with the Soraka pickup because obviously the enemy's not going to pick two supports. Well, then again, it's Moscow 5, so everything's possible. But they are going to wait to see what M5 pick for them solo mid.
He wants to counter pick the mid.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't want to make the mistake that he made against TSM, where he just picked that early LeBlanc. It's like,
surprise! Absolutely.
Yep.
And
oh my god.
Well, let's not get too ecstatic because they can always switch.
Yeah, but I have seen them run the Mordekaiser before, and they are so good. So good.
Okay.
What counters Mordekaiser in mid? Because that's going to be a pirate top.
And again, they're doing AD Cannon as well, which is hilarious. Honestly, anyone who can win those first 3 levels, Mordekaiser can't build shield up, and he is locked in Mordekaiser. They are going Mordekaiser mid, almost definitely. Gangplank probably going to be solo top.
Yep.
And so a couple things with this. The first 3 levels are bad for Mordekaiser. He has to wade into that minion wave, either building it up with shield or with E or with Q. It takes a while to build up enough durability. So if you can get in there early on, like Tryndamere or Ribbon can just jump on him right away and actually mess with him quite a lot.
But you wouldn't run those mid because Ocelot is not practiced on anything other than AP carries, really.
Well,
I mean, as far as I know, I know he's been playing like AD and top on his stream as well, but by far not as good. So let's see what Austin's going to pick up. The lineup of M5 is ready. We are going to see a Sonar Cannon. Was it Sonar? Yeah, it was Sonar Cannon last time around as well, but Janna just stepped forward a little bit too much and got hit by both ultis and switched off.
Yep, absolutely the case. So you can run a ranged AD like Corki or Graves. Those will work for the first few levels. Someone like Cyan won't work that well because Mordekaiser can handle that push.
Yep.
You see that Morgana and Cassiopeia banned out. Kassadin would have been safe. They could have counterpicked Kassadin with the Mordekaiser, but...
How about an Ahri against the Mordekaiser? Is that even a possibility? Because she has the range and she can constantly poke him down through his shield?
I'm not quite sure how much she can bully the early levels. I don't think she hits all that hard of the first few ranks.
Yeah, that's true.
More so than an AD champion could. But certainly it is going to be all about this pick, and of course, if someone at home who's like, I know exactly what this pick is, you're being dumb for not calling it, but we're going to wait to see what that is. Certainly they're taking a lot of time, and I don't know if they're trying to bait them out and just like lock it in the last second.
Oh, okay.
I like Anivia. I do like that. Now, she has a couple of problems here. One, her level 1 isn't that good. And also, the first 4 or 5 levels, she's going to get pushed out by Mordekaiser and then, not be able to do anything. However, she can bait that. Their jungler is Rammus, and Rammus is probably the single best ganker jungler, can completely lock up Mordekaiser, and then you combo with Anivia. You're like, well, you're taunted, so I'm going to land Q into double E. So there's a whole lot of burst damage coming out there. That's going to work really, really well. So combined with Rammus, I do like Anivia because you'd basically bait the push.
How does Anivia farm though? Tell me that in lane. Does she farm in a way that auto pushes the lane, or is she just going to farm with auto attacks?
Most do not farm with Q, so you're only going to use single target spells there. Now once you have blue, you can use your ultimate, use Glacial Storm into Flash Frost, and that's going to auto push, of course, and Mordekaiser can just withstand that and sit in the minion wave and have no problems.
I'm more worried about Diamond actually. If Austin needs to farm in a way that auto pushes, he is going to be open to those legendary ganks from Diamond procs.
However, this is pretty safe though because Mordekaiser and Shyvana both are missing crowd controls, so I feel like Ocelot's pretty safe here. If he does get egged, he's going to drop because they have really good persistent damage. But Ocelot, I think, feels really safe here. The top lane actually could be scary. You've got this Gangplank with the Perma slow. This Shyvana is going to have red buff, and they have absolutely the option to just push in there. And Aurelia doesn't have good escape tools. She can jump in on you pretty quick. She can sustain pretty well. But if you ever get down about to half health, they can jump on that and do a lot.
We're looking at SK Gaming right now here. Kevin, Sleazy Weezy, Ocelote, Candy Panda, and Nif in that order from right to left. Setting up right now for the game. We can see them on the stage finally. The last couple of days we couldn't see the players because they were in the playing area and there was really no room. And here we see Moscow 5, and I can tell you very much about who is who, unfortunately, because I know their names. Don't know their names.
The middle one is Alex.
The middle one is Alex, and left of him, from our perspective, is Diamond Prox.
Yeah, a little bit closer to the camera is Diamond. And then we interviewed the player closer to the camera before, and I forget who that one was.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't interview him. Oh, that's a pretty Mordekaiser skin you're about to see there. So tell me about the top lineup, because probably my worst lane is top, so I have absolutely no idea what's going on there. Irelia versus Gangplank, is there a clear winner, or is this like sort of both can mess with each other? I
think Gangplank's going to have a very early advantage here. Aurelia can stack a lot of armor there. I'm expecting Cloth 5 from Kevin. That seems, I mean, that's my expectation. We'll see what he does here. Of course, the better player than me. Whatever he does, it's probably a good lane.
Smart.
Yeah, probably a good option here.
We are about to see SK Gaming versus Moscow 5 here, the first semifinals at the Intel Extreme Masters Kiev. Okay, why? Do we know why? Weißt du warum? Okay, so it looks like there's going to be a restart. Oh, yeah, okay, I just see it here. Alex
no worries.
says that, yeah, there was a little problem with the masteries. It's possible that, he just didn't pick them right, but it's also possible that there's a little...
it's okay, it's whatever. We're going to get the game up. We'll have the game started in the next 2 minutes or so.
Yep, we'll have a blind pick game up.
Yeah, run through blind pick, no problem. So that'll be really easy. Now, you just asked about the top lane, Aurelia versus Gangplank, and... I really think that the early levels for Gangplank are going to be quite easy. He has sustain as well with oranges, with remove scurvy. He's going to have a good time there. The Rammus gank also... Now, there's a couple things interesting here, because Rammus and Aurelia can both stun. So if Gangplank gets caught, he can eat oranges once, and then he's CCable. And unlike Summoner Spell Cleanse, it doesn't... If you cleanse something, you get a sort of buff on yourself that will then block out further CCs. You're not going to kind of stay in there and get owned. And it looks like we actually have one too many spectators real quick to get myself into the game. There we go.
And I was kicked out of the game. That's not so good. The owner has banned you from the game. That's not good. I'm going to go and rename myself so that they know who I am and stop banning me. That'd be good. So the mid lane, otherwise I can't rejoin because I was banned. Then you have to rehost. That was not so smart. Anywho,
that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about farm in mid lane, because Mordekaiser is not necessarily just build damage, is he? What is his farm going to translate into? Is it going to translate into more damage or more sustainability, really, compared to Anivia?
It's going to be a couple of different things. So you're going to have... Probably Spell Vamp is a very core stat for Mordekaiser. His spells all cost health. And when they deal damage, they give him some shield, but that's temporary. You don't actually get your health back for doing so. And so he's going to need some way to regain health, and that's often going to be through Spell Vamp. So things like the early Hextech Revolver into either Gunblade or Will of the Ancients. The Will of the Ancients will not help Gangplank all that much, nor Shyvana all that much. May help Kennen, but I don't know if it's all that common necessarily. So you might just see him stop on Revolver, or he'll just go Boda and not really go for the teamwork aspect, just for the spell vamp part of it. Certainly an option. A lot of players I see get a lot of ability power as well from Death Cap or Ryleys, things like that. And so you can see him kind of be an ability power carry, as is typical for mid lane, and then he kind of just bursts down the enemy champions. You can kind of kill the Aurelia, make an Aurelia Ghost. That's not too bad. There's a lot of things that are available there.
Liv trolling a little bit here, picking LeBlanc instead of Soraka.
He locked in fine. And the other options, and then he can also build into a lot of durability. Typically, you build resist more so than health, because again you have that shield and you'll have that spell vamp. So flat health is not all that mandatory, but you'll build resist.
And your armor and magic resist definitely do apply to the shield, correct?
Yes, absolutely. So the shield counts as real health for any sort of resistance calculations and armor penetration, etc. So he's going to be a very beefy guy. He's going to be front line. Moscow 5 honestly have 3 melee champions. They have Gangplank, Mordekaiser, and the Shyvana. They have Sona and Kennen in the back line. a lot of them have area of effect stuns as well. You've got the Gangplank ultimate going to slow everyone in that area. You've got Kennen, if he jumps in there, has Slicing Maelstrom, is going to stun targets over time.
But don't you think he's going to use that defensively though? As
It's an
AD
option.
carry.
But here's the thing, right? He can use it whenever it's time to go in for the kill. If they find someone, you said that before, Moscow 5 has the ability to just jump on an enemy and blow him up right away, and you can use Kennen ult for that.
That's
it works
true,
perfectly fine.
Yeah. So Kennen, I was thinking yesterday while you guys were casting about AD Kennen, just the theory crafting behind it. It's actually brilliant, I think. I didn't even know that W scaled with attack damage. You had to tell me that. So then suddenly it made a lot more sense, and the R keeps him safe, and the E keeps him safe.
Yep.
I mean, that's exactly what you want in an AD carry. You want him to be safe. He doesn't have that many steroids, but the plus 12% damage doesn't suck. That's pretty good. The stuns that proc off of his E, that's pretty good as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And so he has the ability to do a lot of really cool things with that. He's going to be able to poke in, much like you might see from Ezreal or from Kog'Maw's ultimate. He has that long-range Thundering Shuriken, that Q. So he has a lot of really good options here.
Right.
And those really can all work for him. So he's got a pretty complete kit there. He can do a lot of good things, and that'll be happy for him. And then, again, he's with the Sona. Sona can give him that haste buff. She has that ultimate as well. Can force everyone to dance, and that's going to be really, really powerful as well.
Dancing is very powerful, Freak. You would know that very much. And now the game is finally really up. Guys, everyone at home, I hope you're very excited to see this match. This is SK Gaming versus Moscow 5.
Everybody, I'm loading up into the game real quick. Sorry about that. Just, getting my load on. Actually, if you want to switch over to Xenon's screen, he's actually in there as well. So if you want to see those first few seconds.
Nothing much is happening yet. They're all setting up very, very defensively. I think we're fine for now, Freak. They're just protecting all entrances to the SK jungle right now. I really like that. That is really well done here. Sleazy Weezy sitting here, Irelia up there, and Soraka just spotting down there just to make sure that there's nothing funky going on, that there's no Gangplank, certainly no Darian's Gangplank taking away a blue buff at level 1, which he's been known to do, of course.
Yeah, although SK now are playing very defensively this time. You can, as you mentioned, yes, the steal is possible, but what instead we have here, if you want to, check the Fog of War with F2, you can see the purple team are all just basically protecting all their major choke points. You can see there's really no inlet available for Moscow 5 to steal. They did probably watch those games, and they do know what Moscow 5 likes to do. The early steals are powerful, and that teleport Gangplank was the exact thing as you mentioned. That's what Darian had, and that worked very well in that very first.
And you really don't want a blue buff Gangplank who can just spam those Qs. And you see Diamond Prox getting a lot of help here from his team to start the jungle route. It's going to be pretty much the same for Ramos here on the Wolves as well. Currently, I'm not entirely sure where Alex Ish isn't in lane quite yet. He's waiting for something. Oh yeah, he's waiting to help his top lane with red. That is, of course, a great idea. If the enemy, if Diamond Prox can take the enemy red, then giving their own red to top lane is actually a really good idea.
Oh, wow, and you're absolutely right. Yeah, this Gangplank grabbing red, and so, if it was stealing blue last time, we're doing this.
But this is a cannon top? Seriously?
So I'm trying to think. He's gone cloth 5. He still has attack damage runes. He's at 64 AD, so he certainly put runes into that somewhere. And I think they're doing that to maybe bully out this bottom lane.
And at the same time, Gozo Pepper is fighting Sleazy in the forest here. The support helping Diamond Prox counter jungle. I don't believe it. And Ocelot cannot leave his lane at the moment, so he can't really go and help. Sleazy is trying to powerball in, and he gets one Wraith for his efforts, so that's not great. Bot lane, though, is still completely alone. I'm not entirely sure. Darian was getting red and has gotten very, very low on health there. Sleazy Weezy, all by himself with three members of Moscow 5, and SK is not making any moves to help their jungle, and that's exactly what Diamond Prox was talking about. I can't counter jungle on my own. I need my team to help me. And Ocelot is just sitting in lane farming there. He's like, I'm not gonna help you. That Sleazy is probably not too happy about that. And look at that. Sona is still in the jungle with Diamond Prox here, helping him counter jungle.
Yeah, well, they're setting up Gangplank for a 1v2 at the bottom lane.
Which I guess kind of works.
I mean, he'll survive it, right? So, Sivir, Sona cannot force someone to die. They have no crowd control. They have good sustain, good damage. They're pushing to the turret, but honestly, Gangplank is a champion that can very well last hit at turret. He's got parley, he's got good attack damage. It's all going to work very fine. And you know, that's going to be all kinds of great. You can see Mordekaiser versus Nivea in mid, 13 for Nivea, 19 for Mordekaiser. That is going well for him early on. And
Lancer Q into E though, but it's not doing any damage through shield. Maybe like 50 health or so. Now top lane is getting dived on. Genja gets a little bit of tower aggro there. Is going to be fine though. It looks like it's going to be a Sonar Cannon top lane. So they basically switched their bot and top lanes. That's very interesting. Let's see how Kevin actually handles this. They may just be trying to throw a wrench in the in the working scene. Oh, Diamond Prox is still there, and they are going to dive Kevin right now. And that's going to be certainly first blood actually going down for Genja. Diamond Prox using the flash to be safe. And SK need to make something happen now, possibly in the bot lane, maybe auto-push the bot lane, but it looks like Soraka is now coming top to actually help. Either help Kevin or prepare for a switch as well.
Sivir's still bottom lane, so she looks pretty much happy to stay here. Not going to be in too much trouble against Pirate, although when Shyvana comes, that may be a very different story. But in the meantime, you know, she's happy just to go for minions. 28 minions for her. Actually has tied up with that Mordekaiser at 29. The poor Gangplank only at 18, so the early pressure at bottom has paid off somewhat. That red buff that Darien has isn't really doing a whole lot for himself, so you know, I got to say the bottom lane has worked for SK so far, but
on the other hand, it's the SK Candy Nif bottom lane that's infamous. It's not just Candy or not just Nif, and I don't know how well these two will work, separated from each other. Very nice clairvoyance from Moscow 5 there, keeping Candy Panda from juking through the brush, forcing him to actually burn that flash. Darien being super aggressive, saying, "I have removed Scurvy, I can heal everything back, so I want to trade with you as much as I possibly can."
And it worked out. Darien with that red buff. I was just talking about, red buff's not doing much. Well, the last few seconds of it, he actually jumped in. And
Sleazy Weezy now finding Gozo Pepper in top lane. The taunt is good. SK Kevin is on him as well. Gozo Pepper has to use the flash, but it looks like he is going to be safe. 3 members of SK now in top lane. I'm not quite sure what's going on in this game, Freak.
Well, I mean, we have now a Kennen versus Irelia, and Kennen's actually a pretty good pick against these melee DPS champions here. You can constantly just poke at the Irelia, and then if Irelia jumps at him, he can always escape. He has a lot of health potions and things like that, so he's pretty safe. Diamond actually running around. I'm not sure. The Golem is down and will be for another minute and a half. I guess he might...
He might want to go ward. Does he have a ward?
Yeah, he could ward it. That is actually not a bad idea at all, and he's going to steal...
And SK actually pinged that, so they know he's there. Sleazy Weezy maybe getting in position. Actually, they know that Diamond Prox is in their forest. Boss Panda, Candy Panda, is now actually engaging on him. Ocelot is just around the corner as well. Spell Shield is on. Is not going to proc the Spell Shield though. Gets the full boomerang off. Is Sleazy Weezy actually going to get his taunt in? Powerball must end sometime soon. There's the Powerball slow and the taunt. Darien is coming with his ultimate to assist. There is the pickup for Candy Panda. Very good. Perfect wall from Ocelot. And sorry, from Ocelot. That's going to be Darien actually forced to use his flash as well. Well played. At the same time, though, in top lane, Kevin going in a little bit too much. Obviously, he has to go in for those last hits. And he is being punished. Let's have a look at the CS here, Freak. 23 for Kevin versus 37 for Genja.
Ouch.
27 for Ocelot versus 52 for Alex Ish. Ocelot seeming to be losing his lane again. Missed that Q there in bot lane as well, so he is going to have to go home and shop.
And so Rammus is holding the mid lane in his stead, but you can see the 1,300 gold advantage for Moscow 5, and that's on equal kills on both sides. That's no turrets, no dragons, just from out minion farming and just doing all sorts of crazy things. It's worked out for him for 1,400 gold. I mean, that's a huge advantage for this early.
Early in the game, this is it's massive. It's much more than 10%. Of the total gold of either team. And Diamond Prox now starting the blue buff. Alex is in position as well. Sleazy Weezy is gonna come in. Ocelot is also coming in. Let's see if Candy Panda sees in time that his lane is leaving. Alex is in a lot of trouble actually. He's gonna put the ultimate on Sleazy, probably just to heal mostly. And there's a good wall keeping him distant, so he can't land all his damage and actually convert that to a kill. Oh, he flashes out of the second proc of the boomerang blade. I don't think it would have killed him, but still, better safe than sorry.
The top lane, Kevin actually jumping in onto Genja. The ult comes off from him, but looks like he's going to be okay. Kevin turns around and he's safe, but Genja, though, low on health, and you can just sort of see these interesting lane here. You've got both supports the top lane, and it's supporting Irelia and Kennen respectively. Yeah,
and it seems to be working rather well. Kennen normally is a typical top lane, but that would be a Kennen build for
typical
AP.
Top lane.
Well, typical-ish Well,
No. Here's what I mean, though, is that he's a typical top lane, except for Moscow 5. You're like, what? Kennen's top?
Yes.
How weird!
Yes, exactly. But he's also building AD, so it is proper weird as well.
Yeah, there you go.
And he's supported, so that's just all kinds of weird.
Well, sure.
Yeah. Ghostpup actually taking a couple of last hits there as well, but it's because Cannon went home, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 0 CS support obviously is a strong
Two
part
minions
of
versus one.
Yep.
The Sona is twice as bad as the Soraka.
That is absolutely true. Completely true. All the bananas are just not as good as the music.
Well, that's probably just true, actually.
Yep. Sleazy Weezy currently at 1 assist, just like Diamond Prox, but Diamond Prox also died once, so Sleazy is doing a better job right now. Also trying to get a proc there off of on Alex Ish. I didn't actually follow who took the blue buff for from Team SK. Did that go to Diamond?
Got it already, I think.
Oh yeah, he did get it. Ah man, that's...
Yeah, Alex was basically sitting in that brush and actually baited them as Diamond was stealing it.
Oh, Kevin baiting against Genja right now because he knows Sleazy Weezy is coming in, but Genja's using the E to be safe. Then there is Darian's ultimate and Darian teleporting in as well to do further damage, turning that gank around into, you know, a counter gank. But it's not actually going to yield any deaths, but it may do quite some damage here to the turret. And Alex Ish in the enemy jungle, there is a ward there,
red.
so they know he's there currently, but he need Sleazy Weezy needs help. He can't go in there alone. Darian is there as well. Ocelot is still too far away. Now they turn around on Sleazy Weezy. Good taunt there, but no one's there to follow up the damage. And 3 members of Moscow 5 are now in SK's jungle, and Darian has the red buff again.
Yeah, Sleazy's smite was 10 seconds away from coming up. It was warded. He could have stolen it. It got nice and low, but no, his smite was down. He got the pull on Alex. Oh, and a beautiful wall. Alex must almost definitely die here. The ult goes off, giving him some health back. More damage coming out. Irelia in there. Yes, does pick up that kill. Now up onto Gangplank. Gangplank eating some oranges. Kennen around there has his ult as well, so if they jump in, he can do some stunning, but no, they will back off. 2 for 1. They got the red steal, but of course, that is still on Gangplank. No, it's still on Gangplank.
Oh, it's a Gangplank. Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay, I thought Alex had taken it. Okay, cool.
Yep. They have dwarfed that gold advantage down to only 1,000, so they're less behind. But you know, they're up in kills. They're doing the best they can.
And the reason that happened is because all this time Candy Panda was farming bot lane, and there was no one of Team Moscow 5 farming bot lane, so a lot of farm is lost to turret right now.
Absolutely true, but it's still 60 to 68. This Gangplank doing a phenomenal job.
Wow, I didn't realize that at all.
Either zoning him out or just having better mechanics, but given free farm, still doing a great job last hitting.
Kevin taking a lot of damage from Genja. I don't think he's used to playing against an AD cannon at all. 2 Doran's Blades and a Vampiric Scepter already on the cannon. Yep. And look at that Diamond Prox actually setting up for a dragon, and almost all 4 members of Team Moscow 5 are there. There's nothing that SK can conceivably do against this dragon, and that's just going to build further advantage for Moscow 5 in this game here.
They do have a rough estimate of the time. It'll respawn at 17:05, so keep that in your minds, guys. 17 minutes in, they're going to start preparing for the dragon again.
Yeah, let's all practice.
But they did know they were there. They did know that they were kind of around there. You kind of saw Ocelot come down, know he had to be safe. The pink ward, good ward control overall from Moscow 5.
And Ocelot needs that blue buff to be properly efficient in team fights and, to farm in lane. Sona actually now in the bot lane again, helping the pirate a little bit there. That means that Nif is going to have to come down again as well, otherwise Candy Panda is going to be in trouble. Currently Kevin diving in on Genja there top lane. There's no silence from Nif right now, so Genja can use his E and is going to be safe. That is a very important part of this lane. If Nif gets off that silence in time and forces Ken, or stops Ken from using his E, that can actually be a kill. Alex Ish, of course, stealing the race. This is what you do as Mordekaiser mid, because it's so easy, so safe, and so fast.
Yep, absolutely. And by the way, for those wondering, he's actually maxing Siphon of Destruction first on that Mordekaiser, and it's giving him pretty good shield and great harass against that Anivia. Anytime she goes up for minions, she'll take 260 damage to the face.
Sleazy Weezy is coming in for a gang, but he doesn't know that Diamond Prox is there as well. And as soon as they see Diamond Prox, they just turn away and are like, I don't want to play with you guys.
Oh, and actually one thing that's interesting as well is this Rammus is actually putting a lot of points in defensive ball curl, and you can see him multiple times against Mordekaiser taunt and then run back to try to pull him into turret range or things like that, but with only 1 point in puncturing taunt, he's actually not pulling him very far.
Diamond Prox setting up for blue again. I can't believe it. How aggressive he is. He's just not leaving any buffs to them. And Anivia without blue buff, it's just half of an Anivia. But Candy Panda is there right now, a little early on the exhaust. The ultimate does not hit Ocelot. Ocelot may be safe, but no, there is the Mordekaiser ultimate and an ignite. A heal from Nif. Is it going to be enough? Following him right now. And he gets egged. He also is going to go down because Moscow 5 are already there. So that's a kill pickup for Team Moscow 5 here on Ocelot.
Yeah, he tried to wall off the entrance to the jungle right there. He just barely missed it a little bit, and they got to sneak right by that and pick up the kill during egg. But it was a nice move by him. He flashed over the wall and knew, okay, I will die, and I will get egg. But if I can stop them from running up at me, maybe I can rebirth in time. Fortunately, just did not quite block that out.
Kevin going aggressive against Genja in top lane. It doesn't seem to be working out for him because currently 90 to 67 the CS and Kevin is constantly low. Look at the amount of poke that Genja does there. What attack range does Kennen even have? That must be...
Press C and you'll get it 575.
Oh wow, that is pretty long for even for an AD carry, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on kind of the upper echelon there, a little bit under Ashe and late game for Sonnet and Caitlyn, but yeah, one of the longer ranges there, and it's paying off for him as well, getting a lot of poke, and you know when you can keep landing those basic attacks, and you got 130 attack damage, it's going to start paying off.
Yeah, and every third attack, of course, proccing for a Mark of the Storm and doing a little bit of extra damage, and once there's 3 Marks of the Storm, there's going to be a stun and some more free damage. And
Kevin could actually drop down. He's going to go for the lightning rush. The ult comes off as well, diving in that turret and will get that kill. Nice job there by Genja. And that's just kind of what happens when you trigger those stuns and suddenly, flash initiate works out.
Yep, he flashed out very offensively there, Kevin did, but it wasn't enough because Genja also had the flash ready. And sometimes it's too greedy to flash in after a kill, but if you can get a safe kill, you know, that's good enough. That's a good usage of your flash.
Absolutely the case, and so we can see Diamond wearing blue buff. Normally you wouldn't really want to wear blue buff as Shyvana, but here's the thing, no one really even needs it from that team, and to be fair, it's the enemy blue she's stealing every time, so not exactly a bad thing.
Especially with a Nivea in the enemy team who really, I know it's the 3rd time I'm saying it, but who really needs that blue to be efficient. And you can see a Nivea building tiers first. That's not something you want to do on a Nivea. Normally you want to go for, I don't know, early catalyst to do, to take care of your mana. But Ocelot really feels that he's not getting enough blues. So, look at that! Look at that! They're going for the red buff yet again. Sleazy Weezy is there, Ocelot is there. Actually, the wall is going to keep them safe, so that was a bit of a McLaren wall right there. Diamond procs going in right now.
It got reset.
Oh, it got reset. Let's see, they don't have enough damage to actually go through the...
Close, though.
Yeah, they don't want to push it right now. Kevin can't leave top lane because Genja is just going to blow up that tower. Has a sliver of health left right there. And they'll just take the race instead. And we've seen the same thing that we saw last game from Moscow 5. Very early oracles here on Shyvana, and she's just going to take all of SK's wards.
And they're going to pull that lizard around again, and they're going to go for it this time. Ocelot doesn't know about it, but looks like nothing will happen.
Yep. Do you think that SK have had any of their own buffs yet?
Their first blue on Rammus.
Ah, yes. Okay. That's nice. That's nice for them. Oh, Genja actually taking a little bit of tower aggro here. Should be fine, though. Sleazy Weezy coming with Powerball, but Genja even faster with Ian. Even if he'd pulled him into tower range, wouldn't have mattered because tower was already down. And Diamond procs in his natural habitat, the enemy jungle, going in from behind to against Ocelot, diving through that turret. Not gonna hit, but that's okay. Alex Ish has the will of the ancients. Look at the damage he's doing. Just 1 E against Nivea here.
Yep, doing a great job with all that. And looks like they're going to converge down onto Sivir. You can see them running across the minimap all the way behind. Sivir has nowhere to run. She pops the ultimate. Now, there's no stuns here, so she could get away. The spell shield goes off, blocks 1 spell. And looks like, the dance comes off, though. Rammus coming in for the taunt, and that's going to be a dead Ghostu Pepper. Ocelot not in good shape, does die under the turret. Alex, though, not in a happy place either. Will have to flash over the wall. Just survives that. Gets the E off, gets some shield and all that. Will survive. Nif coming in to heal Sleazy Weezy. But now they've pulled that kill lead 5-3. They're growing those kills every little while. And
at the same time, Genja very aggressive against Kevin here, keeping him at the inner turret in top lane. That was almost an attempted dive there. Kevin just immediately ran back to the turret, didn't even want to contest the attack at all. He's building an early Last Whisper, sorry, not a Last Whisper, an early Wit's End.
He's getting pieces, though, of everything.
Yeah, that's not ideal. And, I mean, normally, wouldn't you in top lane build against your lane rather than against the enemy team?
I guess it kind of depends. This game is kind of all about fighting the enemy team, though. There's invades coming on everywhere.
Yeah, that's
there's battles everywhere in this game. So, I don't really know what to tell you what to build on this point when you're going to get ganked every 30 seconds. So.
Oh, yeah, and Genja, I just realized the W that scales with attack damage is magic damage.
Yep.
So, yeah, okay, then it makes more sense. I'm sorry, I'm just not used to AD chem.
Oh, sure.
That's not something you normally see.
Every 5 attacks, 80% of his attack damage turns into a magic damage bonus hit. So he's getting basically 16% bonus damage equals magic. So anyone who's kind of low on MR going to get hit pretty hard. You can see Kevin trying to harass.
Setting up for a blue buff again here. And there's 4 members of the team.
Beautiful wall.
Perfectly separated Darien from the rest of his team, but he flashes over the wall just as it expires. And you know what? Moscow 5 are not done. They have Alex Ish here. The spell shield is on Candy Panda. It's going to be used up by the E. So the E is available for ulting right now, and that's exactly what Alex Ish wants to do. But it looks like the blue buff is going to be taken by... Oh no, Sleazy Weezy actually steals it, smites it. Beautifully done there. And Alex is taking a lot of damage from the Boomerang Blade right now. It looks like... Yes, it looks like they can get out of it safely. and we are back to Freak's Vision here.
So now when you miss kills, blame me.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes. Xenon's off the hook now. So it looks like, Kennen still doing a phenomenal job against Kevin. I like that they rhyme, by the way, Kennen versus Kevin. Yes, indeed. And so, again, up to the turret, and he just keeps hitting those Thundering Shurikens. And, okay, there goes the Lightning Rush, but this could be good for them. His ult is on. We'll see what happens. He's got Summoner Heal. They don't know this as well. This could be really bad for Aurelia. Ignite goes off. There's the heal on both sides. Genja going to flash out the Gangplank ult on there. Kevin could drop to Gangplank. Oh, it's still taking some damage.
Yeah, you're staying in there a little bit.
He's still chasing, though.
Yeah, Sleazy Weezy is chasing up, and there's a flash into Taunt, and that's going to be the kill pickup on Genja. Finally, Genja dying in this game. It's his first death, even though he was exposed at the inner turret for the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Well, when you're alone at this part of the game and you've got no wards, you're expecting to die at some point. So his team did keep SK busy at the bottom for a while, but finally it caught up with him. I would have done that again just because you could see how badly he's denied this Aurelia. 91 minions in 19 minutes is so not good. Kennen's got 50 above her, and I'll give up a kill for that. That's fine.
Hey, Freak, I have a number for you. I have 2 numbers for you.
Okay.
One number is 182, the other one is 92.
Okay. Solo mid CS.
Yes, actually 183. Get one more, Alex Ish, and you have exactly twice.
There it is.
There
Double
we go.
minions.
Double minions. That is not in the sky and not good for Ocelot at all. And it's once again, I mean, Ocelot is such a binary player. He either carries the team almost all by himself with the Casio or with the Kassadin, or like yesterday with the day before yesterday with Little LeBron, kinda lets the team down. I'm sorry, I like Ocelot, but
I don't want to say it's his fault though. I really don't, because I think Anivia was a strong choice, especially with ganking Rammus. That would have been fine. The problem was that he was denied blue. That basically solo mid is winning because of Diamond. I think he's kind of the star player of this tournament right now. I personally, he's right now my MVP.
Absolutely,
but we'll have to see the rest of these semis and finals go, because someone could crush his face later on. Of course, it's still just a best of 3. That even though they're winning now, lots more things could happen here. But yeah, he caused that mid lane win. He absolutely did. Every single blue was stolen from Ocelot. He literally had 0.
And they're going in against Darien here. Darien has been doing a good job harassing Ocelot. And you know what? Sleazy even turns around, even though they don't know where the enemy is. Actually, they know where they are. I think they know about this Baron.
Well, SK's red set, though.
Yes.
So, you know.
So, yeah, unless Ocelot teleports over there somehow, I think this is going to be an early Baron going to M5 as well. This is just all kinds of wrong, and Darien now in the middle of 3 members of SK, and he's not afraid. He's a pirate, and he's not going to be afraid of you. Beautiful Sonar across the wall, keeping Kevin separated from his team. Darien going back on Nif. They're doing so much damage. There's the ultimate wish coming in. At the same time, Sleazy Weezy dying to a Sonar ultimate. They're trying to pick up the Baron. Didn't work out for them, and Darien is still soloing 4 members of SK.
Though.
Yeah, but nice use of the ultimate there on Diamond Prox, getting in range. Ocelot has the flash again. Flashes on Team SK are only used defensively in this game. I think I've seen 1 offensive flash when Sleazy went in for a flash taunt, but otherwise it's just been running away all the time.
Yeah, well, that pet Rammus is kind of useful. They did get that kill. They have the Baron buff, and they're going to keep pushing with this. They're up about 10,000 gold. There's a very significant lead right here, and they're going to keep going on. And Darien just was 1v4ing basically that entire time. It was pretty phenomenal.
Hey, guess what? Red buff.
Oh, yay, they get it again. Nice. Moscow 5 dominating this entire map. And, Sleazy about to show up against 5 enemy champions.
Bye-bye.
Taunt, defensive ball curl, not enough.
Yeah.
Actually, Anivia might be enough, though. They come up on a Diamond's. Diamond's not in a happy place.
That wall.
A beautiful wall, and they did get that kill, and that was actually phenomenal. Sivir did they could chase all of these. No, Candy Pen is going to recall. I would have chased if I were him, given my team that movement speed buff, and let us catch the rest of them. Darien gets a shield on him. Sleazy Weezy's still in there. He should have oranges pretty soon. There it is. But taking a lot of damage from Anivia, still getting chased down. Anivia will keep on that pressure.
Nice
Darien,
ward.
Yeah, will fall this time. And there we go. You can see that Genja was pushing bottom, and Sivir said, yeah, basically her recalling actually did work out quite well. Did save the turret, so she made the right call. Okay.
That was a good ward there, I think, I guess, from Nif in top rush there, just keeping, but just, shaving a few seconds off that chase, because without that wall, it could have been a nice juke, but that ward, of course, revealing the brush and stopping the enemy champion from juking through it.
Yeah, it was a great choice, you're right.
Sleazy Weezy is going for his blue buff, and guess what? It's not there. He's just saying he doesn't even have the timing on his own blue buffs anymore. That's how in tatters their game is right now, and the gold advantage is getting close on 10k here, Freak.
But the hilarious thing about that is it's 6 and 6 in kills. Like they've been fighting all the time. They've been constant battles. They've been constantly going for things. But it's 6 kills apiece. But it's such a Alex is beautiful flash. He's gotten caught still though. There's every spell going off on him. He might get dropped down. But Shyvana is now in the fray. He's at half. No, they're gonna have to run away as here comes that cannon, and oh my gosh, Ocelot about to drop. Nif about to drop as well. That's 2 kills. Just because that egg has been dropped. Mordekaiser with a double kill there.
Wow.
I'm thinking Mordekaiser is viable again.
Yeah, kinda.
They gave it to Sona. It's actually a very good choice. Sona with infinite mana. A lot of buttons to be pressed. You can pretty much go mashing face on keyboard at this point.
Let's not say that Sona is an easy champion to play.
She's an easy champion to play.
You can't really press the wrong key, can you?
If you have limited mana, you can.
That is true, but the blue buff, you can pretty much press all the keys.
You're good to go.
Yep, that is true. Diamond Prox, I'm just watching him because I don't see Shyvana that often. He held onto his ultimate through that fight there, I think. And there's a tower dive, and Moscow 5 aren't even afraid. Well, Alex Ishi actually dropping there. Oh, and look at that. Kevin juking around the turret is going to be safe as well. I was about to say they're not afraid. They don't have to be, but apparently they do still have to be afraid. And as the taunt on Darren, who has oranges, Kevin jumping on him and stunning him. That was not the right person to taunt there, Sleazy. I don't think so. Candy Panda, I like that he's still fighting. He still says, look, I am still a threat. Sleazy Weezy, even with almost no health, is still in there. Good taunt, and that is the kill pickup on Darien. But SK now...
They're bringing it back, honestly.
They are kind of... Sleazy was... Well, there was a kind of a fail taunt on the guy with oranges, but he stayed in there with 200 health, and that takes some nerves, Freak.
Yeah, maybe that was the plan all along, is, we can blow his oranges, then my taunt cooldown is lower than your oranges cooldown. So, if we do this again, you can see Gangplank, that 16, almost 17-second cooldown there. You look at Sleazy Weezy, that Rammus, his taunt's on basically 10.5. So he's got an 8-second window to just go for it again. That's not too bad, actually.
SK checking the Dragon Pit there and find nothing but bitter disappointment. Say it with me, bitter disappointment. There
bitter disappointment.
Yep. Yes, because M5 obviously just cleared the Dragon before they went for that mid push. Ocelot at 110 CS with a blasting wand and tears. And those tears are somewhat metaphorical as well, I should say. Wow, sorry.
No, I like it. It's poetic or something. Candy Panda has a Bloodthirster now, finally, so he's going to be a real damage threat. Has a Red Elixir as well. 211 attack damage does not suck.
Nope.
That Bloodthirster, once it gains stacks, will get an extra 40 attack damage when she kills enough minions there. So, gonna be a big threat.
Genja once again not building the early damage. He does not like building damage on his AD carries. He just wants the attack speed. Again, with Cannon, it really makes sense. What's the skill called? Let's just... Is it Electrical Surge?
Yeah, Electrical Surge, the passive on it gives him, I mean, the attack damage scales up his base AD, so, it's going to be a nice amount there, just generally getting those procs.
Mid lane though, let's have a look at mid lane. Darien almost getting caught in wall range, not quite. Ocelot a little bit too hesitant, could have walled him off there, but, well, four members of M5 there in total. Look at those health bars. Do you see how small those chunks are? That means so much health. We look at SK, not so much. Sleazy Weezy okay, but yeah, Ocelot and Nif are so very, very squishy. Compared to, Mordekaiser, who's just building super tanky stuff, just like you called it, Freak. Abyssal Scepter of the Ancients, and that's going to be a Rylai's next, I think.
Yep, and he's got the Sword Shoes as well, so anyone who hasn't built Magic Resist, he's taking true damage.
Ouchies.
And yeah, he's getting some nice durability back.
Yep, Genja setting in to possibly flank here on Candy Panda. Is going to be spotted though, and they turn on him because M5 are a little bit away. Did Candy Panda? No, he didn't use his ultimate. I thought he used his ultimate there for a second. That would have been a little premature.
Yeah, possibly. It's a low enough cooldown, and maybe it would have given them the chase. 90-second cooldown, up for 15 seconds. That's not really not too bad. But yeah, he's saving it, and it's of course worth a save for a giant team fight. Yeah. When you can, wall people off, when you have Rammus Powerball, you combine those off with a Sivir ult to get that positioning, and they have the ability to do some dominant things in team fights. So there's definitely a possibility here.
Oh, the wall, a little bit on the wrong side there. That could have been a Genja walled off. I'd just like to point out that Ramos, even though he's not really that much armor, has 136 attack damage. So certainly if he's on someone and has that Sivir ultimate, that's going to be a little bit damage up there as well.
Yeah, absolutely true. He's going to be a half-decent damage threat, honestly. And of course, a Shirelius in there as well. And actually, we don't have a Shirelius on Moscow 5, and they're going to go for this with the Sivir ultimate. And, Darien in from the back. Actually, that could be decent for them. He's going to keep towards the back side.
Yeah, they don't want to blow an early taunt again, because now all of M5 is there, and they're not going to have an 8-second window, because they're not going to live through to see that 8-second window that you talked about earlier.
Yeah, that's quite possible. But no, so he's going to go in. He's going to find Diamond. If they get a good wall, and they do, Darien is caught out up in front, but they're all going to flash over, and there's the ult from Shyvana as well. A lot of damage coming out here. This is not looking happy for them at all. There goes Panda, and there goes the Rammus as well, and a third kill picked up by Moscow 5, and they are looking just amazing in this game.
I am scared. I'm not even playing this game, Freak, and I'm still scared of Moscow 5.
Yeah.
This is a scary team. That's exactly what we've been saying all event. If there's one defining quality of Moscow 5, it's that they can switch on the killing machine just like that. They get someone or they get a situation that they like, and they all go in. There is no second of hesitation. It's like the Borg, one hive mind, and they just decide, we want to kill now, and they do kill. And that was just, yeah, it was like, you said it, perfectly walled off. You know what? You think you just walled us off from you? No, you just walked.
4 flashes, Sona ult and Shyvana ult.
Yeah, you just took our retreats. We were never going to retreat. We're just flashing over the wall.
Yep. And you can actually see, if you look on the left-hand side, you can see the cooldowns on the summoner spells, and you can see 3 of them did burn flash. Shyvana, of course, ulted. Gangplank was like, well, I'm on that side already, so it's cool.
I'm happy.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, great. Then we're going to fight. And that has 2 things. One, first of all, it says, look, the wall, it's okay, let's fight. Let's not leave them behind. Let's go for the battle. We know we're ahead. And it worked. 2, it means that they've been playing so well, their flashes were all up, and they didn't have to use them to run away or anything.
Yeah, unlike SK, have been using their flashes defensively all game long here. Freak, what can SK do to come back into this game? They need to catch someone alone, I guess, a couple of times?
Well, they do have 3 minutes to capitalize on a mistake. The 3 of the 5 flashes were used in that team, so that's kind of a big deal. You can get some good things done with that. And so, again, they still have Anivia while they still have positioning. They have Rammus taunt into Anivia stun, into Aurelia stun, and there's enough tools there that they can actually lock someone up, even if it's Gangplank, even if it's Shyvana with a bunch of armored magic resist, it's okay. They have the ability to kill someone if they can get onto them. Now, Moscow 5 has done a great job of staying together and playing as a team, but still, they've gotten those one-off kills a couple times. You can see that 11-8 is still a close kill score.
But it's 15k gold advantage.
Well, sure,
30,
yeah. But the ability to have individual fights, SK is doing a great job that despite being this far down in gold, despite losing all their map objectives pretty much forever, they're still doing all right. These fights are going okay for them.
And Anivia, her strength really, I mean, she does have good damage output, but the reason people pick her is that wall, and that wall doesn't need items to be effective. And like you said, the flashes are still down for another 2 minutes or so. So if she actually gets a perfect wall off, and Genja is in position here, that could mean lots of good things for SK, because this time, and I'm saying this with all sincerity in the world, because this time M5 can flash forward across a wall.
Yep, and this actually could be a good fight, honestly. Fighting on this turret is pretty good. There's no giant armor champion on Moscow 5. They got 130 on Kennen, 110 on Mordekaiser, and that's certainly a nice amount.
Oh wow,
God, they're getting 2-shotted.
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez. Okay, there's a and actually they might catch. Oh, they're completely going to catch him out, and that's actually great for them. But the thing is, they have to run away from Shyvana. The entire team comes in off that taunt, and they didn't get that free kill on Mordekaiser, and I could have sworn he would have gotten owned there.
And the beautiful Sona ultimate, just perfectly hitting them. That's going to be Mordekaiser ultimate. That's enough to drop CZBZ. Now they have the Ghost in the midst of all of that. Ocelot dropping so low, he's actually falling to Ghost, and a Q from Darien there, and that's the kill on Ocelot as well. And it's looking like M5 are taking this first game in a very, very convincing manner. Freak. The SKs are ready for you. We have prepared, we know what to play against you. And M5 said, SK cannot stop us. Maybe sound problems can stop us, but SK can stop us. And you know what? It looks like M5 were right on the money here. What are SK going to do differently next time? I mean, can they just ban Mordekaiser and be okay?
No, I don't think there's any single champion choice here. I think it was. I really think they should just learn the lesson and ban Shyvana, honestly, because I think she has probably some of the best counter jungling potential. She's very quick, has a lot of AoE, can burn single targets down. But honestly, I think he's able to play that playstyle with any of the junglers. Yeah. It's just great play overall. Personally, I would probably think about maybe banning Sona. Maybe it's the Sona that's allowing them to do this because they have such safe lanes.
Yes,
that,
and the Sona helps counter jungle too. Remember,
yeah,
she was in the jungle with him there for the first 2 levels or so.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Sona brings a lot to the team. Honestly, that's certainly an option there. Now SK will have first pick next time, so they can first pick Sona if they wanted to. But the playstyle that Moscow 5 are using is honestly full of sustain. They keep fighting.
They find Gozo Pepper here, but they don't know that the rest of the M5 was still around recalling there. As CZBZ actually picks up the kill on Gozo Pepper. Kenny Bandit's using his ultimate right now. Darien is separated from the rest of M5, and they're going for him. That's going to be a kill on Darien as well. The oranges are still down, so that's 2 kills for nothing, because they found M5 recalling in the jungle of SK, which is okay, because if I was M5, I'd feel safest in the enemy jungle as well.
It's worked for him so far. Now the thing, though, I feel like SK should try to get some of these outer turrets. They're down 1-7 in turret kills, and that is contributing a lot to the gold advantage. You can see here the 16,000 gold advantage. A lot of that is from turret kills, and if they can get some of these back, they'll be in better shape. So you can see that they are actually doing a little bit of pushing here. Nif up in front, uses herself to just tank that minion wave, and of course she has that heal to keep that one from being too terrible for her. I look over at Candy Panda, does have 29 bloodthirsts, actually did not die in that last fight, so
that's good.
And they are going to get that first turret. This is great. SK needs this. This is going to build them a bit of an advantage. They have the bloodthirster stacks. Again, that's actually a very big deal. Sivir is a great carry, a strong AoE, and honestly I think that'll work pretty well if they can get just a good team fight going.
Yeah, but M5 are just going to counter push this right now. It looks like, well, it was a good decision to push the lane that lost the inhib, because that's going to give them some breathing room before the super minions start knocking on their base. But I think if you lose an inhib, the minions in the other lanes also get a little stronger, isn't that right?
Yes, the other minions start to push pretty much automatically for you. You can see this top turret getting rather low. Sleazy needs to get in there and try to prevent that from dying. They don't really want to give away this gold, but he's kind of leaving it there instead of like hitting a point-blank power ball. I don't know, it's a bit of... it'll get back toward anyway, but still, leaving it at 70 health that was a little bit preventable.
Ooh, Candy Panda actually picking up his own team's red buff.
My gosh.
Wow.
That's
almost
ridiculous.
a steal in the game.
At this point,
yes.
Yes. That was an illegitimate red buff right there.
Oh, Kevin has to use a flash just to get out of Genja's auto attacks.
And the Sivir ult.
Oh, that's true, yes.
That's going to hurt their next team fight. Without the Sivir ult, it's going to hurt their positioning. It's going to hurt Sivir's damage output herself by quite a bit. A nice leading stun there. Yeah, I wouldn't have jumped in on Alex if I were Sleazy either.
Nope.
Had flash, I mean, could have tried, but yeah.
Ocelot has a blue elixir, I guess it's a... Yeah, he just chucked it. So yeah, I was about to say, let's see if he forgets to use it. He does not, because he actually knows how to play this game.
If he was me, he would have.
And me, yes.
Yes.
I would have forgot to buy it even.
I would have bought it. It would have sat in the inventory the entire game.
It's a lucky charm.
I've done Red Elixir at level 1 and then had it in the inventory at the end of the game. I've seriously had that happen.
Well, Red Elixir is nice because you can bait. You can, Elixir bait.
No, I would have been like 0 and 5.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Good.
And there we go. The blues still coming in again. Now, who would they actually give it to?
Really
apparently
matter,
Kennen got it with the Wriggles proc, I think.
I think that really they're just interested in Ocelot not having it. They don't really care who has it.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Sona, you said it. Yeah, it's nice to have it on Sona, but you know what? So what? Who cares? Kennen's going to have his ultimate again a little bit more quickly. And if you look at him, he has Phantom Dancer, Infinity Edge, and he is building, I guess, a Frozen Wallet. Sleazy busy using his Shurelius here, but his team was not in range for it, so no follow-up there.
And Kennen Lightning rushed out anyway, wouldn't have gotten the catch.
Yeah.
Well, they're still farming, though. And this is actually the one good thing for SK, actually, if they can hold tight. Oh man, but they're warded. Oh my gosh, Sleazy got baited. Beautiful by Moscow 5. Sleazy, you're not in a happy place right now. Shurelius does go off, but I think he's going to get caught too much. Boss Panda in there as well. A wall goes off. He's trying to run away. I don't know what's going to happen. Sleazy did in fact fall. They have a Rammus Ghost now, and they're going to keep chasing in Genja, jumping in there. Darian jumping in there. Nif going to flash away. Ocelot. The ult gets a little bit of a slow. They're still trying to run away. The ult has now timed out there for Candy Panda, and he's getting. Oh my gosh, those crits are massive. He's not happy right now. Kevin in the fray, and he's going to fall down. Looks like Diamond going to pick up the kill on Candy Panda as well. Exhaust not enough to help. Gangplank with a double kill, and now it's just two.
At the same time, Alex Ish was pushing down the Nexus turret with the Sleazy Weezy Ghost, because why not? Why would I help them? They're okay. And I think that's game one, Freak, right here.
Yep.
That was such a display of not just skill, but aggressiveness, and,
Yeah.
Moscow 5 basically said, yesterday you saw us playing carefully, this is us playing, pedal to the metal.
Completely full out, and this is great. Oh man, that game was a joy to watch for a bunch of different reasons. So first of all, you've got just cool things happening, right? Mordekaiser not seen in competitive play very often.
Yep.
You've got the AD Cannon, which now we've seen this tournament, but still rather rare. Shyvana, rather rare as well. So
and this level of Shyvana certainly never seen before.
Yeah.
Yesterday after a couple of M5 games, I turned on a Snoopers stream. Just because I had nothing to do, just watch Snoopers play, and the first thing I see is a jungle Shyvana on the enemy team.
Great, yeah. And learning the lessons from the tournament, of course.
Of course.
So not only the slightly oddball bigs, of course, Instalock Sona, no stranger to the competitive scene.
Yep.
So yeah, you got that, but you've got just a phenomenally fun to watch playstyle from Moscow 5.
Yeah.
Permanent aggression. I mean, from level 1, Sona followed around Shyvana counter jungling for like the entire top half of the jungle. Gangplank gets red, kills another camp or two, recalls, teleports back, suddenly 1v1ing a Sivir solo bot.
I really question why SK didn't come down there. I mean, yeah, the top tower would have lost some health, but Ocelot could have come. He was just sitting there farming the wave at his turret, and really, it didn't work out for him. He didn't get the farm. He needs to be that hyper carry AP that he usually likes to play.
Yep.
Why didn't he just come into the jungle? I mean, yeah, you said that Anivir doesn't have the strongest level 1, but that's a stun. Yeah, I think he was level 2 as well, so stun into E, that's a good chunk of damage.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Guys, there's 2 more games that we're going to watch here, or maybe just 1 game. We'll have to see. I'm hoping for...
At least 1 game.
At least 1 game.
At least 1 game.
I am hoping for 2 games because I cannot get enough of this. I mean, we're definitely going to see Moscow 5 tomorrow again, whether it's in the finals or in the game for 3rd place. I'm kind of hoping for 3rd place because I want to cast them again, but it doesn't look that likely right now. So guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to have a 2-minute advert break. It's not going to be that long at all. We're going to be back with the rest of the games.
On February 6th, 2012, the Intel Extreme Masters conquers new ground. After 6 years of pro gaming action, we're going to South America for the very first time. Sao Paulo, Brazil will be the 5th stop on this year's IEM circuit, and it's going to be a mecca for StarCraft fans. 16 of the world's best players will be battling out in a StarCraft-only tournament, fighting for $21,000 in prizes, the Brazilian crown, and of course, the final spot in the World Championships in Hanover. So be sure to come to Sao Paulo Campus Party or to tune in live on February 6th to the streams at ESL.tv.
Phil, have you found opponents already? Phil? Phil! Do we have an opponents yet? Phil? Phil! You're not fantasizing about my girlfriend again, are you?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. We are here in between games 1 and 2 of the first semifinal of Intel Extreme Masters Global Challenge Kiev between SK Gaming and Moscow 5. And if you missed the last game, I'm sorry. I really am sorry.
You can actually watch the VODs very, very soon. I'm just a shout out to the sorry, soon TM. Oh my, you didn't. Moving right on, a shout out to the Intel Extreme Masters crew here. They've been really good about putting the VODs up on YouTube very, very soon. It's YouTube / Intel Extreme Masters. It's just search for Intel Extreme Masters on YouTube. You'll find the channel. And of course, after all of this is done, we're going to have a rerun so you can watch it all as it happened. You can just pretend you're watching live, which is
indeed. And then you can yell at us for like missing kills, and we'll go back in time and fix them.
Yes, we'll do that.
So, like I said, we are in between the two games. The first game, Moscow 5, did come out ahead. The kill score actually rather close, something to the effect of 11 to 15, something to that. But the gameplay was dominant the entire time from the Russians.
Yeah.
From level 1, they, I think, took 3 of the 4 buffs. Like at the start of the map, you know, Ramus got his, and they were like, yeah, but we're going to take your red, Gangplank's going to get our red, and Siobhan is going to get our blue, so let's do this. And it worked out gloriously. They did the lane switches, too. They had they had Sona, by the way, roaming with the jungler, with that Shyvana running around stealing those buffs, giving her health, of course.
That's how important the counter jungler is to M5, that they'll dedicate the support to it for the first 2 levels.
Yep, and they let Gangplank 1v2 against Soraka Sivir. And I gotta say, I think there's 2 reasons for that. One, I think it's part of their strategy, of course, to counter jungle. But 2, I feel like it's because they knew this lane was not scary from SK. If that lane were, for example, Tarek Vayne, I don't think Gangplank would have soloed top that well. I think that they're basically reacting to the enemy team, saying, look, we've picked our lineup, you kind of got a late pick Soraka, a late pick Saber, we're already going to go with Shyvana and all that, but hey, we can run this thing where we send Kennen top and solo bottom Gangplank and let the support jungle because we know your bot lane can't hurt us.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what they did. They executed it perfectly, and I really like to see that. I mean, sometimes you talk about people being outpicked or outbanned in a tournament or in an important game like this, but even after the picks and bans, there is still meta game. So outside of game decisions, yes, exactly. Not just the mechanics. I mean, mechanics are important, but I really love about this game that mechanics aren't the be-all and end-all of the game. It's really the high-level decisions you take. Like you just said, we realize this. Bot lane from SK can't really hurt us, so therefore we can execute the following switch. It's not just, we'll switch because we like this lane better. It's like, we understand this on top of that. Yeah. And then we understand we're going to have a super aggressive counter jungler that's just going to make all of that even better because top lane is going to be ganked non-stop.
The level of knowledge from Moscow 5 honestly was phenomenal that game. I'm going to just keep harping on how good they were because I'm just like fanboying over the gameplay that they had. It was hyper aggressive. It paid off every time. Yeah. They never let a Nivea have blue, and I think that was a key part of their strategies as well. Is of course, they know Rammus is going to go for blue level 1, and they had Mordekaiser keep pushing a Nivea to try to scare him out a little bit, and then they would time really heavy pushes with, the blue's going to come up. They had it timed every time. Yep. We saw Shyvana come up that one time. He said, is he really going, like, blue isn't spawning it? No, it's just to ward it, just to ward blue, so they have control over there. And then one of the times they went to go steal blue, Shyvana went in there, and Mordekaiser stayed in the brush waiting for a Nivea. And, Nivea comes by from the side, and then he's just like, jump, scares him away, makes him retreat, and isn't able to stop blue, and that worked every time. The level of just teamwork and coordination from Moscow 5 was phenomenal that game.
And most tellingly, one time Sleazy came to his own blue and found it not there. So he didn't even have the timing for his own blue. And it's not his fault, of course. I'll just repeat once again what Diamond Proc said in the interview. You cannot be a good counter jungler by yourself. You can be a good counter jungling team.
Yes.
And that's a huge distinction. I never thought of it that way, but it's obvious now that you think about it. That's exactly how it works. You can't counter jungle if they just leave you hanging there.
Well, I run in and steal red and die all the time. Seriously, like just watch me play anytime ever. I'll feed all day if I counter jungle because you do want teamwork for it, and if you get caught and your team doesn't help, you will die. If your team shows up, you're going to just get every buff every time. And they picked such good champions for it too, where they have, Kennen who can lightning rush and get across the map really quickly, Mordekaiser who can push and then have a 25-second reprieve to go help kill things. And it worked. You mentioned Anivia didn't go over to help because she had a minion wave at her front door, and I was like, well, I either give up 150 gold or I, help this. And, they're difficult situations. It's a difficult choice to make. And, maybe she should have come to help and denied some of the counter jungle. But SK never punished these pushes. They didn't ward the entrances to their own jungle. I don't think they really learned partway through the game, like, hey, let's ward the ramps up because we're going to catch them doing this. They didn't, bait their own buffs or anything.
They caught Diamond Procs at their own wolves once. Candy Panda caught him just looking in there. He saw him there and he pinked it, and they converged on Diamond Procs. But even then, when Diamond Procs was caught in the enemy jungle, M5 were quicker to react, and Alex Ich was there immediately, and Darian came up as quickly as Candy Panda was like, you know what, 3v3 in your jungle? Go. Home field advantage for us.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was a conscious choice from the lane switch, but for example, Gangplank will out-duel Sivir early on. Sivir's aimed as a late-game ranged AoE style pick, so she'll mean more at 35 minutes than the Gangplank will in a grand team fight. But when it's 20 minutes in and you don't have full item builds and you're slugging it out in the jungle, Gangplank's going to dominate there. And I don't know if that was really a Moscow 5 choice. Like, hey, we want more power bot lane, so let's put Gangplank there instead of Kennen because he'll mean more. I don't know if that was the decision or if it happened to work that way, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. Their decisions gave them a dominant win. Just phenomenal by them.
What are we going to see now? You said they should finally ban Shyvana, but we spoke to Alex Ich yesterday, and he said Shyvana is not necessarily the strongest champion on Diamond Procs. It's just a champion he likes to play most. He can do the same thing with lots of other champions.
Sure, that's fine, but I feel like there's a lot of things that they can ban out. And actually, I think it's time also, because this was actually pretty standard gameplay from SK. This is the time they're going to go for one of their special strategies, and he told me about them. He looked around and was like, is anyone okay, so here's the two things we had planned. Yes.
Standard ban so far. Nunu banned away from Gozu Pepper, who's just too good on Nunu, and Cassiopeia banned away from Oslo. So I think, like they said, their ban strategy is very, very much shut down Ocelot. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a Kassadin banned again. What was the third ban last time? Ooh,
it was another mid-major. It was Morgana.
Morgana, yeah. It's all aimed at Ocelot, of course. Sona banned, so this time that tells
Moscow
me
5, yeah.
M5 have either a different plan or they really think Sona is that important that they either first pick or ban her.
I really think they're just giving mass respect to Sona and, of course, respect to Ocelot for banning Cassiopeia. I mean, that's one of two things. It's one, they think that Alex has a deeper roster of champions than SK, so they're happy to ban all the mages. And SK, again, with the Yorick ban, I think they just... Either they don't play Yorick and they're afraid of him, or what. But
maybe they know that Genja is a really good Yorick player. I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
it's
or
possible.
Darien.
Yeah, sorry, Darien, of course.
Or
yes.
I mean, you can also jungle him. I've seen players jungle him,
really?
and I've seen support Yorick from Elements, and I've seen jungle Yorick from St. Vicious. So
wow.
But Yorick's played any lane. Basically.
Once again, they say like, we're not afraid of Shyvana. You go ahead, you pick Shyvana, and they can take their time picking Shyvana because I don't think SK are going to pick. Oh, this time Morgana left open, and Ocelot finally on one of his really strong champions. I mean. Anivia isn't a weak champion for him. He's definitely good with her, but now is the early Morgana pick, and of course Ryze picked against that. It's gonna be a tough lane for Morgana. She has to kind of stay back and to push the lane and hope never to get caught in a flash prison, because flash prison into Shyvana gank, yeah, you're dead.
Yeah, absolutely the case, and you know, we'll see how that pans out. And Moscow 5 in love with Tarek, Soraka in that pool that SK grabbed the last time. You know, of basically all the supports to choose. Sona got first pick, and they're like, yeah, we want Soraka. SK still want that Sivir pick, though. They're going for that one. And they are going for Soraka again. And honestly, I do like Soraka Sivir as a lane. While it doesn't kill enemy champions, it has such great pushing pressure. And the problem was when they sent Soraka top to go help Aurelia, Aurelia still kind of lost that lane to Kennen, but I think they could have said, okay, Aurelia, your lane's going to suck. Sorry, bro, but let's just chain push down against this gangplank. And I think that actually could have worked quite well. And with every ranged AD still to choose, they're going for Misfortune Tarek.
Graves is up there, Kog'Maw is up there, Vayne, Kennen.
All ADs, honestly, and we've seen pretty much all of them played in tournament play. The Chinese teams have a big love for Ashe and Ezreal. A lot of the European teams have big love for Kog'Maw. And a couple of them have Urgot. Like we saw Lamia play that at the last IEM, and we saw I think Lune is the ranged AD for Cypher, and he was playing him as well. So I've really seen pretty much every ranged AD played, and they're like, no, it's time for MF this one around, and we'll see if that pans out.
I want to see somebody getting stunned into Rune Prison and MF bullet time all over that, because that's gonna happen. And I think that's why they like Tarek so much, because it enables their super aggressive. Like we get one person stunned, and the entire team M5 just switches on kill mode.
Yep, and I like it for a couple other reasons as well. So Misfortune has good synergy with Tarek because she scales off AD and AP. So when Tarek hits his ultimate, she'll gain double scaling. Additionally, Renekton grab. Interesting.
Automated Croc is going to be very, very happy about this. That's Kevin has this very, very wide range of top laners, and maybe he thinks that, well, is Aurelia going to fall off against the Renekton? Is that the case? I don't even know.
That can happen. I mean, or Darien goes for a different strategy entirely, but
I could see him just running Gangplank again here. I mean, as long as he stays safe from the double dash, he can probably outrun Renekton.
I don't think you can out-sustain Renekton, though.
Yeah, the Q, of course, yeah.
I really do like Renekton as a pick there. And to get back on the Misfortune point, I think it's also a great choice against Soraka, because Soraka is all heals. And when you have that basically free healing reduction debuff, that's going to make your pressure even better.
And that's why we see fewer ignites this time on Team M5 as well. They're saying we have that Misfortune with healing debuff, we don't need to run that many ignites.
And yep, Darien is going to be so. A lot of that team actually the same. They've got the Shyvana and the Gangplank as before. Subbed out that Sona for a Tarek. SK actually grabbing two of the same champions as well with that Sivir Soraka lane. And we'll see how that pans out for them. But I'm trying to think of the synergies here, and you've got great AoE, the ability to jump on anyone really, really quickly as well. You've got the Morgana Dark Binding, the Sivir Ultimate, again, still great for doing all that kind of stuff. You've got them pretty defensive as well. You've got a lot of tanky frontline champions there. Which you did before with Aurelia and Rammus, but still you've got slightly more mobile ones here, I kind of feel. Where you can actually dash backwards on Renekton, unlike Aurelia. So also the amount of gank power here is phenomenal. I think Renekton will out DPS, and Aurelia and Udyr does all kinds of crazy things.
Let me just point out something about Udyr here, because Udyr, I think, is one of the safer junglers, and he may not be quite as vulnerable to counter jungling as Rammus, for instance, because Renekton is going to 1v1 Shyvana early game, isn't he?
I guess they might try to go for it. Well, yeah, Udyr can 1v1 Shyvana. Renekton can come down as well.
Yeah.
I think Renekton has a good chance against this Pirate. Also, remember that none of these champions need blue this time around, so they're not getting, Swain or Anivia or any of these other, big blue hogs. So, maybe that was also the choice with the counter jungling screwing with us. We can't go Anivia, we can't go Swain. Didn't go LeBlanc. I don't think LeBlanc's a great choice against Ryze necessarily, but rushed for that Morgana. Said, okay, she's a great pick. She was banned last time. As soon as they didn't ban it, grabbed that Morgana, and they were happy with that. So, not exactly a bad choice.
And Morgana really doesn't need the blue that much. I mean, she's going to be happy to have it, but she doesn't really need it.
Yeah.
Everything Morgana needs to do is she needs to land those clutch bindings, enable her team to initiate off of one of those bindings, and then in the end actually go in and do a really good ultimate and catch a lot of people. And normally you're going to have enough mana for 3-4 bindings and Tormented Soil and an ultimate.
Yeah.
So I'm really liking this, and once again, like yesterday, we're seeing the champion Ryze skin on Alexis, just saying, I'm the champion already. So definitely a lot of attitude here from the Russians, who have been showing us crazy play, and I am super excited to see this game, Freak. I mean, maybe it's going to be one-sided again, but to be honest, M5 are so much fun to watch. I'll watch them about any game. Just the way that they can jump on someone and just immediately kill a person. And the big question right now is, are we going to go to 3 games, or is this second game going to end everything? This is the second game in the semifinals, SK Gaming versus Moscow 5.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We are into the game. You can see SK Gaming now the blue team for this match, Moscow 5 on purple. And I kind of realized that, in the semifinals match, we probably have a lot of first-time viewers, maybe those who don't play League of Legends. And if you don't, well, it's free, LeagueofLegends.com. You should probably start playing. The game is phenomenal. And so let's kind of get the rundown on what these champions do. So real quick, of course, SK are kind of on top of each other, so let's start with Moscow 5. This is Shyvana. Shyvana, melee DPS, lot of damage output, highly mobile as well, runs really fast, has the ability to jump, turns into a dragon, by the way. Basically, if you're near Shyvana, you're taking some damage. Over down the rest of this roster, we have Ryze. He's actually hiding in the brush. He is a actually repeated damage mage. He's going to actually cast spells every few seconds and constantly pump out magic damage from range. Has the ability to root you in place as well for a short time, so if he gets on you, you might stick in place. It might be difficult. Next up is Tarek. He's right here. He's got a big hammer. He can heal. He can stun. Shyvana getting caught.
Let me interrupt you there. There is a Shyvana getting caught. That was great play, but very, very good juke. She is going to be safe right now, and SK Gaming took a very long route around the enemy red buff to actually catch Shyvana there. Sorry for interrupting you. Could have been a fight.
That is a smart choice. Yeah, absolutely. So looks like she's safe. So the next one up, so Tarek, by the way, he can stun and he buffs his team. So when he's just around them, he's going to give them bonus armor, bonus damage, bonus spell power. It's really, really powerful there. He can heal and he can stun, so you'll see those spells come out as well. Next one down the lineup is Misfortune. She is a ranged, mostly physical damage dealer. She also has an ultimate that deals significant area of effect damage, so if she can keep the enemy team all kind of together, she's going to toss bullets out. It's going to be really, really painful. And then Gangplank, the final one here, also a big melee damage dealer, very scary up in front, can shoot his gun at you, and also just hit you with a sword. A lot of pain there. And by the way, Moscow 5 still red again.
Well, I would have interrupted you if it was anything special, but this is Moscow 5, so this is the normal opening.
Nif almost got face checked into a brush and died there too, which is a little bit scary. But they're giving Darien red buff again, so the same as before, letting him duel with red buff. We'll see if that pans out well.
Kevin started with Cloth and 5-pot. That's definitely the safe way to start there. Seems to be running some crit chance on runes because he just crit.
Or he's 21 offense for the Masteries.
Oh, yeah, right, too, yes.
You can see actually 4% crit, that is from the Masteries right there. So he's at least, I think, at 17 points in offense, so pretty deep into that build. You can kind of just see his stats and all that. So that was pretty much the rundown of the Moscow 5 team. A lot of offense, one healer. Basically, if they're touching you, you're going to start taking a lot of pain. And
look at that, Nif actually running around with Sleazy Weezy there for a little while just to make sure he was going to be safe in the forest. Now they saw Diamond Procs in top lane. They're going to say, okay, Nif is, Sleazy is safe for now. Nif can go bot lane and support.
Absolutely. So Shyvana might come around now. She's probably going to keep jungling Ocelot. It's pretty safe. He's actually pushing to the turret as hard as he can. Let's go down the rest of this lineup. So Ocelot is playing Morgana. Morgana is a half support, mostly mage champion. She's an ability called Black Shield, which will actually block a bunch of magic damage and keep you from being stunned and rooted and crowd controlled. As Moscow 5 has a couple effects for that. Also has an ultimate which basically tethers to any enemy, every enemy around her, and if they don't break the tether by walking away, they'll get stunned in place, and so she can really initiate a fight and lock people up. Also, you can see here that's Tormented Soil, just damages anything standing on top of it, and her final ability is Dark Binding, which will root anything she hits in place, which of course synergizes with breaking the tether and that puddle down there on the ground, so you can kind of do a lot of comboing if you can land that first spell.
Good warding from SK Gaming. They had a ward in just above mid in the river, and they spotted Shyvana going through this, so they at least have an idea where she is right now. Sleazy busy putting that ping down on the enemy jungler, but at the same time now he gets spotted by M5's ward near red buff, and they put a ping down on him as well. So they have a good idea where the enemy jungler is right now, and they should feel safe to push. And speaking of feeling safe to push, Darien doing so much damage to the poor Crocodile there in top lane. But he's just going in.
He has 0 ward coverage on top, though, is the thing. Yeah, okay, they did see, in fact, where that jungler was, but he cannot see anything around him, so he could get jumped at any time, honestly.
Let's hope so. For the sake of having a 3-game series.
Well, that too, yeah.
Yes, 7 potions though on Darien. I just wanted to point out really quickly that he went back and bought, obviously, after taking red, and that means he is not going to be out-sustained. There's just no way Renekton can burn through 7 potions in that.
And it's 27 to 15, so Kevin is not having a great time at this lane.
Yep, exactly. Oh, came I'm missing a Boomerang Blade there. Could have been good damage to Genja, who's already down at half. Goes to Pepper. Taric, like you said, is a support who can heal, but his heal is on a very, very long cooldown. The cooldown is shortened every time he attacks, so he kind of wants to attack a little bit to get a cooldown shortened if he needs to heal a lot. Sleazy Beezy didn't know he was
standing. Heal from Genja. That was close, though. He could have gotten dropped. Boss Panda will drop his heal on as well, so all the heals have been burned out. But now Genja, honestly, I think this lane is going well to SK. Shyvana on the other side of the map will not gank them down here, and they've got a giant minion wave at the turret, so damage up, it could be scary here.
I don't understand. Shyvana was in mid lane camping for like half a minute or so, and she's still ahead in CS over Udyr. How does this even work?
I don't know if her clear speed's just faster, or she's doing a better job of predicting everything, but...
Yeah. Okay, Diamondprox coming in, just showing himself mid lane there, so that's not a gank, it's more like a, I'm going to hold the lane while my Ryze goes home, and possibly already buys tiers. That would be very quick to see.
1,000 gold, he'll get it, yeah.
Yeah, 950 or something? 900 something.
995.
There you go.
Or 990, one of the two. Either way, close enough.
Yeah, and he has the tiers. Ryze wants to build the tiers as soon as possible, and at the same time we have first blood in top lane. Just constant pushing. Sorry guys, we weren't checking the top lane because they're constantly in each other's face, and yeah, it's just not going so well for the little Crocodile there.
Yeah, Darien just soloed him too. There's no input at all from his team. Kevin just misjudged the damage output, got taken down 22 minions to 41. Darien is dominating that lane.
That's what you exactly what you don't want to see. Yeah, Diamond now holding bot lane a little bit as Misfortune already went home and bought second Doran's, no, actually 2 Doran's blades. She had the boots already. Or maybe she started with Dawn's Blade and bought boots and Dawn's Blade. Anyway, so it's going to be a very good lane for them. And I was going to say, Ryze needs to build those tiers early. The way the tiers work, every time you cast a spell, you're going to get a little bit more maximum mana. And Ryze's damage scales off maximum mana. So he wants to buy it very early in the game. And now he's just spamming his spells, even when he doesn't need to, just to get that max mana up. 4 max mana every time you use a spell. And that can be up to 1,000. So you need to use 250 spells to fill out those tiers.
And that's not going to take him all that long, honestly, so that should show up pretty well. So as we go down the rest of this lineup, Renekton, who did die and gave up first blood earlier, melee damage dealer much akin to Shyvana and Gangplank, hits you with that big giant sword thing. I don't know what to call it, honestly, but can stun you as well, can dash across a little bit as well. Has a little bit of lifesteal, and his ultimate actually makes him a lot bigger, damages anything around him, and makes him a really big beast as well.
What a bully! Look at Darien being such a complete and total bully here to the poor, poor Crocodile. 8 potions now. 8 potions. When do you see that? Never.
His giant crit was for 88 damage. That's unfortunate.
Yep. And Alex Asian Diamond, guess what? We're setting up to steal blue from Sleazy, and Sleazy cannot do anything against that. I mean, Ocelot is here now as well, and maybe if he lands a good Dark Binding, but it doesn't look like they're even trying anything. SK are still hovering around. Kevin is about half health. Good Binding actually on the Golem, so that wasn't that good. Kevin going solo, has to use Flash. Ultimate is not going to be enough. Kevin uses it, but it's still not enough to survive the burst from Shyvana's either, and is going to be dropped.
Yep, that was an excellent job in Moscow 5. Now, SK did know that was going to happen. They positioned themselves. They had Udyr in the brush already, but of course Shyvana put a ward down to spot for that. And, oof, yeah, damage output from Misfortune is pretty good, doing a good job against Sivir here.
Yep. And Soraka needs to wait for the heal debuff to be over whenever Misfortune uses that before she can heal again. So that's going to slow things down a little bit as well. Goes to Pepper, such an aggressive support play. He takes a little punishment for it, but there's the spell shield procced on on Candy Panda. And Genja immediately following up. I'm not sure why Candy Panda stayed this long. Took a little bit of extra damage. That was brilliant play from M5. They used the Q from Misfortune to proc the spell shield and then immediately followed up with a dazzle. And there is another dazzle on Candy Panda, but he's going to be safe. He's close enough to the turret.
Yep, you can see that Candy Panda can try to keep the minion wave a little bit thin before it reaches the turret, give her a little bit better chance of last hitting everything. Saber, by the way, a ranged attack champion. Wow, a lot of damage to the Misfortune. Nice Boomerang Blade there. Has a penchant for area of effect damage. You can see that Boomerang Blade coming out a couple times. Has an ability called Ricochet, which makes her next just normal attack bounce to a bunch of other targets.
Alex Ish warding the enemy Wraith camp. Very, very aggressive warding here. They really want to know when the jungler transitions into the river or out of the river. 32 CS right now for Renekton versus 59. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Pirate is winning.
A little bit. Also, it's a kill.
Yes. Also, yeah. Kevin is a good top lane. I'll just have to say it again and again. But Darien is in a class of his own here right now, and he's playing a very interesting style where he's donated the his team's red very, very early in the game, and there's so little you can do against that.
Yeah, and that just...
Or blue. Was it blue?
No, no, they invaded for red.
Oh, they invaded for red, yeah, and he took the red, yes. Anyway, either of those buffs are gonna hurt so much. Alex Ish picking up the M5 blue, completely uncontested, of course, because SK just don't even have the time to catch their breath and counter jungle.
Yep, minion count, by the way, for bottom, though, is pretty much equivalent, 60 to 62, so all of Saber's pushing hasn't really amounted to too much as far as denial.
Ooh, M5 setting up for a dragon, but SK spotted with a good, well-timed clairvoyance. M5
they don't even care.
Have pulled the dragon, and they're like, you know what, you spot us, that's fine, we'll still go for it. And Candy Panda is not leaving his lane right now. Good move from Genja, using his ultimate to clear the creeps down there, so Candy Panda really can't leave now, and Genja just trading with him, because it's like, my team just took dragon. If my trading keeps you in lane, that's good for us.
Yep, absolutely, and she's actually spamming double up, just has that maxed out almost, and it's basically making her out-duel Sivir. Sivir, not one of the best duelists early on, but usually has some pretty good damage out of it, but even with Soraka's help, basically Misfortune is just doing a great job of owning. And oh, this could get scary. There's the spell shield, blocks off another one of those spells, but has to be careful. Still getting worn down a bit by this Misfortune.
The Sleazy Weezy is now in the river. He's gonna find Diamond Prox, but he's level below her, and she has the red buff. He has a red buff as well. Still, not sure he wants to fight her right now. Darien in top lane doing so much damage to Kevin. He's pushing in on him again, and Kevin using his Q to heal a little bit, but gets another parley in his face and just has to go. Has to go home again.
Not happy for him at all.
Nope. Not at all. And Ocelot is somehow not auto-pushing with Morgana. That's strange as well. Morgana is one of those champions that normally the Tormented Soil is just going to automatically push the lane. And that's gonna make it a little bit harder for Ryze to last hit. Look at Alex, he has vision where he's like, you know what, I'll take that Wraith, thank you very much.
Yep, he did grab one, nice play right there.
He grabbed the big one as well, that's most of the money.
Yeah, well of course.
Yep. Yep, and let's have a look at his tiers. They are 220 bonus mana, so he's about a quarter of the way through fitting those tiers already.
Wow, and there we go. Some more aggression coming in, though. Candy Panda doing some good job there. Did block that first stun from Tarek. His cooldown's going to come up in the next 3 seconds, though. It is going to outpace Spell Shield, so they've got a little bit of a window of aggression here if they want to go for it. He is in range. Doesn't quite go for the dazzle yet. Now he's in range again. He is going to... No, he's not. No. Okay, I'm just wrong over and over again.
Interesting. He has the spell shield back right now, so yep, there it is. Nice. Good reaction time there. That's exactly the kind of mechanics you need to see on a top player. Candy Panda doing that really well. And still not bursting enough, even with his Boomerang Blade. Misfortune has the Shatter Aura from Tarek. So she is currently at 76 armor versus 57.
96 when she's nearby. Also has the cloth armor in her inventory. She's going for what might be a Wriggle's Lantern. So she's really just able to withstand all of Sivir's damage output.
And guess what? M5 are in the enemy jungle again. Alex Ish and Diamond Prox. They may be trying to dive, but Kevin is so scared. He's already running. Is the blue going to come up again already?
Should be soon. Yeah, should be in this minute.
So they have perfect timers on the enemy blue there as well. Ocelot using his black shield. That's not going to happen against the Q because that's physical damage. And there is the blue. And it doesn't look like SK even want to contest this. Oh, this is just looking so sad for them right now. And so good for M5. M5 are just dominating this. And there's the flash across the wall. CCBC going very, very low. Turtle shield is not going to be enough. Turtle stance. Ocelot is going to just retreat and say like, you know what? There's nothing I can do here. And the blue buff did go to Shyvana. Would have been a little bit better on Ryze, I feel, but it doesn't really matter. Again, what they're trying to do is not so much take a blue buff, but rather keep the enemy from having a blue buff.
Yep, and it worked out. And there's a nice dark binding there onto Shyvana. He does lock her up for a while, but To get back
At the same time, top bot turret though is falling. Candy Panda is pushing very aggressively and they're doing exactly what you said. Soraka, Soraka CV is such a strong pushing lane. Ocelot is there now as well. Is he going to be able to land the Dark Binding? Yes, he does, and that's Genja certainly going to drop down right there.
Oh my god!
One more attack and he gets it barely.
But he got healed by Terrakim. That was close.
Yeah, that was very, very close. But Ocelot, very, very well done there. Judging that he wouldn't have enough time to just run up, so he immediately flash queued, and it was just barely enough to catch Misfortune.
If this Sivir has to be buying items pretty soon, she's still on 2 Doran's Blades.
Oh, Darien finds Kevin in the Drybush there in top lane. Kevin, for some reason, fancies his chances to go in and attack. I'm not sure I agree with that. Yep, and there he is, hiding under his turret right now. Darien at 104 last hits versus 62 for the automated Crocodile.
And yeah, it's not looking too happy.
Yep.
Darien level 11 now. I believe that's, well, it's tied with Alex for the highest level in the game.
Mm-hmm.
See what Rise picks up now as well. He's back to base. Gets a Banshee's Veil all at once.
Wow. Oh, that is just so much money. Sleazy not even fancying his chances to go against Darien at all. There's a 4-level difference right now, so he is completely right. Kevin is going in, but Diamond Prox is around the corner, but there's all of Team SK setting up for this. Diamond Prox is just waiting.
But Diamond's there.
Yeah, there's the CV revealing him, but Kevin just not enough to sustain there. Oh, Dark Binding barely missing. Could have been a kill on Diamond Prox there, but not quite.
Yeah, nice try, absolutely. So again, Oracle's already picked up there for Diamond, so he's going to be ward sweeping pretty soon. Has a lot of wards in inventory as well. Some potions still, just in case he gets low. And he's kind of relying on Wriggles and soon a Merc Treads.
And let me just point out that the kill that Candy Panda did there was the first kill for Team SK. And Darien getting dived under his turret. He's healing and he's flashing out. Kevin going after him, but there's Gozo Pepper as well and Diamond Prox waiting in the wings. They don't really want to fight this under the enemy turret. Yeah, they should have seen the Shyvana attack there and back off, but guess they just really want to get the money from the turret. And Diamond Prox is now turned on his burnout just to clear minions quickly, because that's one way you can stop a push, by just clearing enemy minions very quickly, and the tower will then just attack whatever targets are left.
Yeah, I guess they had not enough vision because it was basically a 4v2, and you can pretty much 4v2 under an enemy turret. I mean, you might not want to fight them there, but you're not going to get scared off. But, you know, really no reaction from the rest of Moscow 5, but it didn't matter. Misfortune kept pushing bottom. Yeah. She's got a lot of gold off of that, now up to 115, has outpaced Sivir by about 2.5 minion waves. Morgana's going to try to, you know, clean up the rest of this if she can, but still kind of interesting to see just how far ahead Moscow 5 are getting by, you know.
Oh, Candy Panda now getting caught by Alex Ish in mid lane. He has to go back under his tower. And one more Q, barely saved by the wish from Nif Soraka there. Alex Ish is just so aggressive. Diamond Prox was walking around but didn't even go near the fight. He's like, Alex Ish has this. I don't even need to help him.
Yeah, no worries. So we're trying to get some gold back. Only level 9 though, is pretty squishy here. 46 magic resist, not a ton, but it's almost entirely just from being near that.
Yeah.
That's Soraka.
Dragon up again. Diamond Prox sees that there are no enemy wards. There is a CV well timed from Nif. They check the dragon and they know that M5 are going for it. Now this is the fight that could decide everything. Seems to be taking so much damage up front. He has to run out. Boss Panda also so very low, not being a boss at all. And good Dark Binding on Gozo Pepper, but even though he's the support, he can just, you know, he can just tank this. He's gonna be fine. Freak, what can SK do now? It looks like M5 are just running away with this game again.
Yeah, they're about 10% on gold. Oh my gosh, also got caught. But that spell shield is going to keep him alive just a little bit. That black shield helping out quite a bit. Renekton's going to keep farming up at top, and unfortunately, this is the second time he's had not a great time at top lane. And I think it's just, you know, maybe Renekton was, well, the early red buff's going to make his life pretty hard, and that was actually the case. But
still 6 potions on Darien. He just didn't even need all those potions he bought.
That's true, and he's got a phage as well. He can keep chasing someone down pretty easily.
Yep, the proc chance of the phage is only 25%, but it procs off the Q and of his normal attacks, and let's not forget he has a passive that slows people down.
It's going to be pretty brutal.
Yep. Moscow 5 is currently only, I'm saying only, 3k gold ahead and 2 kills ahead, because it feels like so much more, but they have the psychological advantage. SK are on the back foot right now. They must feel bullied, Freak, and you know they wouldn't be wrong to feel bullied, because M5s are big bullies, but they are bullies in a really well played way, and you know they deserve all the hype they're getting. I have not seen a team just amaze me this much with aggressive playing style in the longest time.
It's absolutely true, and you can just see they're basically you know, just dominating most of the map really. And oh my gosh, are you serious? SK about to get their own blue buff.
Oh wow, that is a brilliant steal there from Ocelot, stealing his own blue buff, and the CV just a little bit too late there from Gozo Pepper. Oh, M5, you just had your second blue buff stone, your secondary blue buff. I'm being a little mean here, Freak, but
sure.
But yeah, M5 are just, they're dominating this game. They're taking everything from the enemy jungle. They know exactly when to invade. They know how to get the entire team ready to help with the invade as well. And I hope that a lot of pro teams are paying attention to this and going, how can we implement this sort of playstyle into our game? Because this is clearly a strong advantage. Bot lane, it looks like they're trying to dive there on Candy Panda. Nif is around the corner for a heal, but Candy Panda is also very, very low on mana. They wanted to push this turret right now. And in the forest, Alex Agent Diamond Proc setting up. Ocelotte is going to spot them. Yeah, he's actually going to hit on Diamond Procs. And Candy Panda and Nif need to run right now. They need to just leave this turret, die. Yeah.
Yep, turret's gone. A little bit of an invade from Moscow 5 as well. Diamond and Alex both coming in, trying to get rid of these Wraithsmen. Actually, I think he left the big one. There they go, pick that one up.
Yep. And Ocelotte actually not doing so badly this game. He's at 149 CS with 153 on Rise. So he's actually doing better, but Rise does have a kill and assist. Kill. Yeah, well, Ocelotte only has an assist. I feel that generally, though, in a all 5-on-5 team fight, Morgana is more impactful because of her ultimate. But, we said it time and time again, M5's strength is just taking a single target out. That is certainly something that Rise is so much better at, with all the damage from his Q. Yeah. And yeah, they were seeing it on Sleazy Weezy, so much damage, and he keeps diving for another Q. Let's have a look at Rise's tiers.
576.
576, and the Q currently doing 140 plus 226 damage.
Oh man.
That's a lot.
Yeah, a lot of damage here.
Almost an auto attack. I mean, with the cooldowns that it has. So he almost auto attacks for like 300 something. 400 something.
370 damage, pretty painful. Every 2.8 seconds? Yeah, that's gonna hurt you a little bit.
Yep.
So Kevin's still not in a happy place against Darien. 2 levels down. I don't think either have really left their lane that much.
Nope.
So it's just, aside from the steals on blue, sure, but yeah, Kevin not in a happy place here. Still getting pushed down.
Yeah, and he's about 50 creeps behind, even a little bit more.
98 to 156, almost 60 behind.
Yeah. Darren just has 50% more CS than Kevin. Kevin trying to go in for some last hits there, needs to use the dash to even get out and be safe again. Genja and Gozopepper just, chilling in the enemy forest, as you would. Blue buff going over to Alexej again, that's just, standard. Dragon may be coming up soonish, because M5 are kind of hanging around that general vicinity. I don't think that SK have the timing on Dragon, I'm not sure, Freak.
I think they know that they went for it. I think that they're a good enough team to know and infer Dragon Timer, so I think they'll be okay with this. Diamond getting hit with a Dark Binding, doesn't really care though. Lifesteal's a bit back up, and of course has Tarek to heal.
Yeah.
SK getting ready to defend maybe their middle turret. So M5 just, wow, great ward sweeping. A Diamond, of course, wearing that Oracles.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have that many items, just it's Wriggles and Merc Treads, but it's enough to keep him in great shape this entire game.
Yeah, it is 21 minutes in. He doesn't have that much farm, but it's just his constant presence. It's the fact that he coordinates this counter jungling that keeps the enemy team from using their own buffs. And I think that's a very, very strong impact to be having. Kenny Panda had very good shielding there, just at the last second, shielding that Q. And that's going to give him some mana back the way it works with Sivir. If you spell shield an enemy spell, you're going to get some mana back. And that means just more Q spam.
Yeah. You see he's just pushing through onto these minions. Again, just full clears the wave. It's not bad at all, but you can see Moscow 5 Genja pushing bottom. Says, oh, you're all missing? Okay, I guess I'll go for golems.
And once again, Genja does not like to build the damage first. He does go Final Dancer first. He did it on Kog'Maw, he did it on AD Cannon, and he's doing it on Misfortune as well, which is kind of strange to me, because Misfortune, her ultimate has decent scaling with Q, with AD. Q has decent scaling with AD. Looks like Kevin is gonna get dived in top
mid there. Man, it's gonna hurt.
Just so sad. Uses his ultimate to try and get out of it. There is an Ignite down on him as well. No, an Ignite down on Diamond Procs actually. Diamond Procs just jumps back and turns into a giant dragon and eats him.
Wow, beautiful job there by Moscow 5. Just did dive that turret correctly. Of course, they have complete ward control. You could see as we look at SK's view, nothing at the top of the map. Had no way of knowing she was coming in. That was a great dive there. SK coming back to go for a turret. Let's see if they can do enough against Alex. Looks like he's happy to just keep hitting. Oh, wow, Candy Panda. Not enough. Ignite over just dominated that summoner heal, and he's still fighting this basically 2v3 now.
He basically went in 1v3. Tarek was nowhere near in range to do anything. He was like, you know what, I'm going to go in 1v3 you and kill your AD carry with the Bloodthirster all by myself. Sad face for SK and M5. They must feel really good, Freak. This is a tournament for them on well, Ukrainian soil. A lot of people here speak Russian, so it certainly feels like home for them. And their first offline event, they want to prove themselves, and you know what? They have made a name for themselves. This is
so far so good.
Oh my, this is so much fun to watch. All this aggression, and they know exactly how aggressive they can be without taking too many risks.
You know what I'm actually looking forward to, though, is Team Solo Mid kind of tout themselves as the kings of aggressive play style. So, if Moscow 5 does win this game, and if Team Solo Mid does, or either way, if these two teams match up in the third place or the grand final match, I'm actually looking forward to that as a specific matchup. That'll be fun.
It's probably more likely that they'll meet in the finals, though. That is, of course, even better with even more on the line. And after all the aggressive talk in the internet, and they take off blue. Darian in the front line. They're also going in with a very, very good ultimate off. And look at the damage to him, how quickly he's dropped. He actually gets his ultimate through. No one dead yet. There is the kill on Ocelot. Kevin following very quickly. They switch focus to Sleazy. Goes to Pepper, still surviving. Diamond Prox is on Nif. Nif has the flash. Diamond Prox turns into a giant dragon as Candy Panda just comes in from the right and is chased out by Genja all by himself. Darian's ultimate on top of all of that. Goes Candy Panda flashes, but it's not enough. Genja and Darian flash after him. And yeah, except for Nif, that was an ace.
Yep, except for Nif. They jumped into a 4v4. They got a great Morgana ult. It did, I think, proc on pretty much everybody. Yeah. But it just didn't matter. They did not get enough damage out of it. Yep. And the entire team from Moscow 5 just stayed alive, and they survived the battle. And then Sivir came in and basically dueled Misfortune to that.
Didn't work.
Went Misfortune's favor.
Yeah, well, that's what you said. Sivir not the correctest duelist, even though Misfortune is building strange stuff. I mean, she's building 3 Dawn's Blades, a seal, and a lantern.
Well, I think it works because she's actually done, this player has done wriggles in every game I've seen so far. Right. Kog'Maw both times as Kennen, and now on Misfortune, so just like a big fan of wriggles. And it says, well, if I have wriggles and 3 Dawn's Blades, I have 180 attack damage. At that point, yeah, I'll buy a Zeal because why not get some critical chance out of that?
And also, of course, for a duel against another AD, let's not forget that Wriggles gives you 30 armor, so that doesn't suck.
Yep, lets him do, and I think that's also because again, Moscow 5's players need to be individually self-sufficient because the team roams around and picks up buffs by whoever's nearby, and so anyone who's left alone needs to be able to survive this. And that's why Gangplank, who can of course escape, run really fast, eat oranges, is able to get away from a lot of the stuff. And then Misfortune the same way is building a bit of durability, and that's working out. You can see 112 armor, has flat magic resist blues, has that Wriggles Lantern in there, and it's panning out quite well.
It's
and an Infinity Edge.
Oh yeah, well, minor details. Infinity Edge. That's just you buy that with pocket money. Frozen Mullet going to be built very soon on Darian, and that's the Fromox build, of course, the Frozen Mullet Atmox build, which is even more aggressive than the good old Atmox. We did nerf Atmos a little bit.
Warmox.
Warmox, sorry, yeah, Atmox, yeah. We did nerf Atmox, that's true as well. We did nerf the combination by nerfing Warmox.
Yes.
Anywho, the Frozen Mullet into Atmos Impaler. Very, very strong build. He's gonna nail. He's just gonna slow people so much that they cannot get out and still have a lot of attack damage. And as I'm saying this, though, he is being nailed there in top lane. He was a little bit too far out. Don't think his team can get it there in time, but at the same time, they're killing Candy Panda in mid lane. Yep. And there's the jump in from Diamond Prox, and that's a dead Candy Panda. Nif is probably gonna fall as well. And look at Darian, he gets out there with full health. How does this happen?
He's got a lot of move speed. He turned on that raised morale and just kept running, and Udyr could not quite catch up. He's not all that high level, so his bear stance only level 1, and that's what happens when you steal so much jungle that your jungle is 14, enemy jungle are 11. Yeah, that's going to start kind of adding up pretty quickly.
Oh, this is looking really dire for SK, and it's looking so good for M5. What would you feel right now if you were in M5's shoes? I think you'd start to have a little grin on your face, right?
You might be smiling, but I think you're still pretty much going for the win hardcore as before. You can see the jump in now on Sleazy Weezy, not in a great place, but might survive. Now Kevin just jumped on really hard, and there's the Misfortune note goes off. A little bit of damage up onto Morgana, but most of the team had retreated by now. A great Dark Finding. Sleazy's still alive. Nope! Gonna drop down right there. Chuck Testa says that is a dead person. And, Morgana, you're in the middle of everyone, and gone again. Alex with a double kill here.
And Genja dueling against Candy Panda while the base turret is attacking him. He's like, I don't really care that much. And there's the GG, well played from SK. They are conceding this game. It's probably going to be a surrender vote very soon, or they're just going to wait for M5 to push down the turrets. So definitely very sportsmanly contact here from SK. We kind of expected it to go this way, and I can hear the crowd cheering all the way through the walls here. Freak. What an aggressive game. Who can stop Moscow 5?
Well, we're going to find out in the second semifinal if it's going to be Dignitas or Team Solo Mid, and I got to give, I think there's a chance they can do it. I think this game started out pretty close for this matchup, but, you know, realize that none of these lanes were dominant, right? Morgana versus Ryan was pretty much equal.
Yeah.
The bottom lane there of Sivir Soraka against Tarek Misfortune was equal, but it was Darien who actually controlled that game. Of course, Diamond, a great player, did invade a lot, did steal a couple of those buffs, but SK didn't need those buffs necessarily. Right? Okay, yeah, maybe he out-counter juggles and that's fine, but it didn't seem to manifest as anything huge this game. But it was the top lane, and, you know, I don't want to call Kevin bad or anything, but I think Darien just played phenomenally. You know, the early red buff into teleport top, I think these teams can do a better job protecting their own buffs, because that wasn't Diamond who got him the red buff, that was Darien who got himself the red buff.
SK didn't even set up this time to protect their own red buff. I'm not quite entirely sure why they didn't. They definitely could have tried to go for that, and Renekton may not have been a good, not been a bad choice against the Pirate, but Pirate with red buff, he's going to have an early advantage, and then you know what? He is going to mercilessly drive home that early advantage. You saw he bought that many potions because he still thought, well, that giant crocodile could be a threat to me, but turns out, nope, no threat at all. He finished the game with still one Phoenix Bun in his inventory. That was something he bought like at level 3 or so. He bought 8 of them, so he slowly burned through them. And Morgana, when it mattered, that one fight at Blue Buff, where I felt that maybe SK would have had a chance to turn around still. She did not have the hourglass quite yet. She died and went home and bought, well, she died and bought the hourglass right after that fight. I feel if they turned that fight around, I mean, look at Morgana CS 202. That's not bad.
No, not at all.
He could have maybe made something happen, but it just didn't come together. There wasn't enough damage, and that one kill that we saw Candy Panda take when Genja was overextended was the only kill for SK Gaming in this entire game.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
that's painful.
Yeah.
It's painful. Yeah, but, you know, they have the ability to make this happen, at least in the third place match. Third place still, you know, it's great. You know, to be fair, a lot of players have said something to the effect of, you win third place, you lose second. So, you know, this tournament could end with SK's head held high. They can, of course, still fight for retribution in their third place match tomorrow. We still, of course, have the other semifinal coming up in the near future, the All-American affair, Team Solo Mid versus Dignitas, and that's going to be really well fought. And the winner of that match will, of course, fight Moscow 5 in the grand finals, and we'll see that coming up after this short break and in the future.
The Intel Extreme Masters is powered by
nobody. You got a BFF, I wanna see that girl, it's all women invited. Hairdos and nails, that Louis Chanel, all up in the party. Presidents in my wallet, no rules, I'm bout it. Blow the whistle for the hottest. I got it. Shorty, it's never too much, keep me doing too much. 10 to 1 of me, I can handle that love. Bottles in my reach, we can all get buzzed. Holla, cause I'm free to whatever, it's no rush.
So many boys in here, where do I begin? I see this one, I'm about to go in. Then he said,
And with microphone is better. We're back here in Kiev on the interview couch right now. We have with us Well, Ocelot, obviously, from Team SK Gaming, and I'm not entirely sure, who do we have? Ah, we have Genja, the AD player for Team Moscow 5. Well, everybody, you just saw the game SK Gaming versus Moscow 5, and I'm going to do something maybe a little mean. I'm just going to ask you, Ocelot, how would you describe this best of 3 series?
The first game was fine. Second game, they stomped us.
So you'd actually call it a stomp?
The second game is, you can call it stomp completely.
Ну что, вопрос первый. Оцелоту, как бы вы охарактеризировали целую Best of 3 серию, которая только что произошла? Оцелот говорит, что первая игра, в принципе, была более-менее ровная, более-менее хорошая, но во второй игре они нас просто, даже не знаю, как это перевести, просто растращили в куски. И именно вот так он называет таким грубым словом, что нас просто разнесли.
Okay, now to Genja from Team Moscow 5, I'm just going to start with a rather easy question as well. Did you guys expect that it would be this clear, or did you think it would be a little bit more of a hard-fought best of 3?
Вопрос тебе. Вы ожидали, что будет настолько просто, или все же ожидали, что СК как бы намного сильнее будет против вас и окажет сопротивление помощнее?
Ну, как бы, мы играем на европейском клиенте, поэтому мы с ними много уже сыграли, мы к ним были готовы. Единственное, чем мы ждали, это от них АП-жана на миде, так и не дождались, так что так мы готовы были к ним вполне, это было легко.
We played versus Sky a lot, we saw a lot of their games and we were prepared really good. We thought that they are prepared too, but as you see, we played much more better, and that the game was really easy for us.
Okay, so Ocelot, you left Shyvana open in both games for Diamond Prox to play. A lot of people have been saying that Diamond Prox's jungling has been absolutely central to the success of Moscow 5. Was there ever any consideration in SK to maybe ban out that Shyvana, or do you think it wouldn't have mattered?
I think it wouldn't have mattered, in my opinion, because they are a better team. Right now, they got better team play, and they are a better team. That's a fact, you know? So, as a better team, they will obviously, if this best of 3 gets repeated 10 times, maybe they win 7 or 8 even. So, it's just normal. They just played better, but don't worry, because we'll have a lot of SK and a lot of Ocelot better and soon.
Ну что, интересный вопрос был задан Оцелоту по поводу того, что Shyvana оба раза отдали они Даймонду, который считается в мире одним из основных факторов того, что М5 так хорошо играет. И не думали ли СК по поводу того, чтобы забанить этого героя? На что Оцелот отвечает: тут бань, они играют в разы просто лучше, чем мы. И если мы сыграли 10 раз, я думаю, они выиграли минимум 7 или даже 8 раз бы у них намного лучше команда, и нам очень много нужно тренироваться для того, чтобы дойти до их уровня на данный момент.
Okay, and a question to M5 then, specifically to you, Genja. Your bottom lane, you don't seem to be a big fan of the damage items. You don't really rush an early BF item at all. We've practically always seen you build Wriggle's Lantern into a Phantom Dancer for attack speed and crits. What is the thinking behind that? Does it somehow connect to your team strategy, or is it just personal preference?
Вопрос тебе, с того, что ребята наблюдают за твоими играми, и складывается у них впечатление, что ты не особо большой фанат итемов на дэмэдж, и практически постоянно пакуешься ты в криты и в атак спид. Это связано как-то с командной стратегией или с тем, что твои личные предпочтения игры за аткерри именно такие?
Ну, в первую очередь я собираю Phantom Dancer для того, чтобы быстрее перемещаться по карте, так как мы обычно очень часто ходим в чужой лес и делаем разные опасные мувы для соперников, поэтому нужно только для мувспида, поэтому в основном из-за этого.
Genji told us that the first item he tries to gather in every game is Phantom Dancer, because the strategy of Moscow 5 is getting together beginning from the very beginning of the game and going to enemy forest, trying to kill somebody, and with this item he can move much more faster at the map, and that's why he is trying to buy this item almost every game.
That's very interesting. That makes sense. So, a question about that then. In the first game, we saw Sleazy Weezy being attacked at his red buff by almost 3 members of Moscow 5. There was the Sona, if I remember correctly, the Shyvana, and Mordekaiser came up as well. And we saw you sitting in lane, still trying to last hit for quite some time. Do you think that maybe SK need to do a better job to just jump in the forest and stop that counter jungling, or do you think that would have been like a lost fight if you went there?
we knew that if they join our jungle, our lanes were a little bit weaker, especially mid. And the mid pick Anivia was only for team fights. We knew that before 6, Anivia is really bad. Like if they join our jungle, Anivia cannot push. Anivia cannot. I mean, you have to hit the Q plus E so they can avoid it. It's pretty tricky, and I believe. I mean, we knew before the game that would happen, but our faith was more into team fights than in laning phase. They used to use like strong lanes to make sure they can join our jungle, and we used to use weak lanes to have better team fights. So yeah, that's it.
Ну что, был вопрос по поводу момента еще с первой игры, когда постоянно мешали фармить дивизии в лесах, когда он играл еще на Рамосе, и в это время постоянно Оцелот оставался в миде и продолжал фармить. Если бы он чаще помогал, случилось бы как-то по-другому, было бы лучше джанглить все-таки джанглю команды СК, на что Оцелот отвечает, что в первой игре, как бы учитывая наш последний пик и пик команды М5, мы сразу решили, что нам придется играть просто в ультразащитную тактику, потому что у них намного лучше линия, они нас будут постоянно давить. И, может быть, даже если бы он помогал в лесах, это как-то повлияло бы на игру с Лизивизи, но, в общем, это бы никак не помогло дефить вот эти вот постоянные пуши, вот эти вот постоянные атаки от команды Moscow 5, поэтому, в принципе, они с самого начала игры после пики понимали, что будет так, но все-таки не смогли полностью реализовать потенциал своих героев.
So, question to Moscow 5 then. The type of gameplay that we've been seeing today from you guys is really something unprecedented to us in the amount of aggression that you bring and how quickly your team just switches on, as I call it, the kill switch. You just decide there's one guy, we're going to go for him, and with no delay you just take him out. This is something that I've not seen from any other team, so I would like to ask you, do you think there is any one team in Europe that is on your level right now, or asking it differently, which is the team in Europe that you are most afraid of at the moment?
Ну что, вопрос такой прозвучал, что как бы с чего наблюдают комментаторы, что на данный момент у вас на этом турнире, а может быть и даже в целой Европе, просто гениальная координация всех решений. То есть если вы начинаете фокусить кого-то одного, то моментально, просто все пятеро его моментально фокусят и убивают. И как ты считаешь, есть ли хоть одна команда вот именно в этом плане, именно в координации действий и так далее, которая может с вами сравниться в мире на данный момент?
Ну, я думаю, любая команда могла бы просто... Как и мы, также мы в основном даже не то, что мы договариваемся кого-то определенного убить, мы обычно просто как бы кто первый выходит, того и бей, а дальше уже как получится.
Genja says that any team could do like that. The way to kill other heroes so fast is really simple. You see hero, you kill hero. It's like right click and kill. It's nothing very special to do. It's really easy to do. You just need to talk with each other all the game long, and everything will gonna be alright.
That's a very good answer. Everybody could be doing it. Why aren't they? So. So you're not quite out of the tournament yet, in that you still have a chance to go for third place. They are going to fight against either Team Solomid or Dignitas tomorrow. We're going to find out in the second semi-final later today, the All-American affair. So two questions to you, just like, is there one of the two teams that you'd rather be facing in the semi-finals, and is there anything else that you'd like to say as well?
Okay, first of all, saying that anything other than first is losing for every one of us. So this is a disappointment, obviously, but you cannot always win, so it's kind of fine. We learn from this, and about TSM or Dignitas, we don't really care. I mean, I'm good friends with TSM, so I hope they go through. But Dignitas guys are also kind, and I don't know, I like them both. So let's see. And I will need like 1 minute, to do like shout outs and stuff. Now that we lost, all the SK fans must be so disappointed, and I have to tell them that this tournament was really important, obviously, like every single other one. But our aim is Hanover. Our next aim is Hanover, and I hope that we can train more than we did lately, because I went to Vegas and stuff. I hope we can bring you victories, and I not only hope, I know I will give you victories. So stay tuned, and see you later in the next tournament.
Ну что, прекрасный ответ от Ацелота на вопрос, что вам завтра придется играть за третье место, с кем вы хотели сыграть. Отвечает он, что нам, в принципе, абсолютно все равно, с кем играть. Любое место, кроме первого, является как бы поражением и провалом для команды СК, но мы не отчаемся, мы будем дальше тренироваться. Наша основная цель на этот сезон и на данный момент основная цель в жизни каждого из 5 игроков — это турнир в Ганновере, который будет в марте. Мы туда попадаем, и сейчас мы будем активно тренироваться, так что следите за нами, смотрите наши стримы, болейте за нас, и мы обязательно вас не подведем. Так как в матче завтра за третье место, так и в мировых финалах в Ганновере.
Okay, and then the final question, it has to be asked, of course. Well, yeah, we have to talk about it. Tomorrow you're going to be in the finals, and I believe that there is one team that you would particularly like to meet in the finals. I believe you would really like to be up against TSM here on the big stage. It's going to be decided in the next semi-finals, of course. Just tell me, Genji, how do you feel right now about taking on TSM? I know you've beaten them in scrims a lot, but everybody's been saying they're so much better here at the tournament than they are online. Are you afraid of them at all?
Ну что, вопрос простой. Вы завтра будете играть в финал. Скорее всего, это будет ТСМы. Все знают ваши отношения с ТСМами, что весь интернет там по поводу этого ссорится, кто сильнее, кто круче. Вы их выигрывали на скримах. Ну и завтра вы, скорее всего, с ними сыграете здесь на сцене. И если у вас хоть какие-то опасения от этой команды, хоть как-то вы их боитесь, или настолько вы уверены в себе, что вам абсолютно все равно, с кем играть, с ТСМ, с Dignitas, с СК и так далее?
Ну, мы прекрасно готовы, мы готовы сыграть с любой командой, как Dignitas, так и ТСМ. Поэтому мы не опасаемся абсолютно никого, поэтому мы выиграем обязательно.
Genji said that they don't really care who they will play in finals. They are prepared for Dignitas and for Team Salamid, and they know what to do versus each of those teams that will be playing second semi-finals. So they are sure that they will win this tournament.
So last question to Genji then. Do you think you guys are going to drop even a single map in this entire tournament?
Как думаешь, вы хоть одну карту кому-то проиграете?
Я думаю, нет.
No, definitely no.
Okay, well, that's an announcement right here. You heard it. M5 are not going to drop a single map this tournament. It will remain to be seen tomorrow. There's going to be another best of 3 against the winner of the semifinals, TSM versus Dignitas, which is going to come up very, very soon. So don't go anywhere. I'm not entirely sure. I believe it's going to be at 7:10 local time here. The next semifinals is going to be casted by Joe Miller and Demon. So that's going to be definitely a treat. I'm going to be watching that. I'm super, super excited about the rest of the tournament as well. So don't go anywhere. We'll be here with you for you with the semifinals in just a moment.